Good morning everyone and welcome to the Dafa News UAE Summer T20 Bash 2021 powered by Sport Gully. Today we have the T20I game between Namibia at Scotland live from the ICC Academy ground here in Dubai. I am your lead commentator Ahmed Khwaja. Joining me in the comm box is Faizan Khan. Good morning Faizan.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Ahmed. And it's always amazing to be a part of the commentary box with you. And looking forward to a great game of cricket. It's Namibia versus Scotland, the big game today.
Absolutely, it's match day 4 of the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash. And let's go over and take a look at the pitch for today's game. We've seen a lot of variable bounce off that good length area. And I don't expect anything different today, Faizan.
Well, yeah, yesterday it played a little better, and with the moisture in the air last night, it was very, very humid. The moisture must have settled down, so it's got something for the bowlers and something for the batters as well. It's going to come onto the bat easily, that is what I believe. And if you can bat first and score some runs, which we saw happen yesterday for the UAE, you can actually, get yourself in the game.
Absolutely, we've seen scores of 155, 160 be very competitive. And I don't expect anything different as well. If your fast bowlers can hit that good length area, get the ball to misbehave, some variable bounce. It's not been easy apart from the new ball in the batting power play. It's been tricky conditions as we see the two teams warming up right now, Faizan.
Absolutely. The first few overs are the overs that you would want your team to get the impetus in. After that, it's more about consolidation. And towards the end of the innings in the first game, UAE also scored a lot of runs in the last few overs. And in fact, in the second game as well, the last few overs went for a few. Again, so if you have wickets in hand, you can actually do something about it.
Completely agree with you. It's been interestingly cloudy morning here at the ICC Academy in Dubai. But as the day has progressed, the natural heat and humidity has emerged. There's a slight haze across the ground as the humidity in the air is burning up. It's at least in the low 30s right now. So expect that to heat up and the action to heat up as well, Faizan.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great game of cricket. Scotland were looking very professional yesterday. Namibia also has beaten the UAE. So it is a balanced competition between the two sides, and I'm looking forward to a great game of cricket. Also, it's the advent of winters here in the UAE, so a little haze is also expected.
Completely agree with you there, Faizan. And let's find out about the toss then. Of course, it's conducted in a biosecure bubble. And there it was, the two teams in dark blue. Now, the Blue Eagles of Namibia, Merwe Erasmus on the left, and Kyle Kurtza, the long-standing captain for Scotland. And the news is that Namibia, they won the toss and they've elected to bowl first, Faizan.
Well, I would have backed my team to actually go out and score some runs. We saw UAE losing the toss yesterday and put into bat, and they scored some runs. With some runs on the board, your bowlers have something to bowl at, and that is when winning the toss becomes important, but I would have batted first.
Right then, let's take a look at the Scotland playing 11. Then Kyle Kurtzer, the captain, of course, Matthew Cross, Mark James Watt coming into the side today, Safyan Mohammed as well getting a game, Josh Davey, Dylan Budge, Richard Barrington, George Henry Munsey, Michael Leask, Bradley Wheel and Craig Wallace. So a lot of changes from the game we saw yesterday versus PNG. They're really shuffling through their pack.
Absolutely. They've changed the spin bowlers, so I think the conditions have changed because of the moisture in the wicket. They are not going with their spin bowlers. There's no Hamza, there's no Leggy in the side, although he was brilliant yesterday, Reeves. Apart from that, Namibia team looks strong as well. Stephen Bard, Zane Green, Craig Williams, Merv Erasmus. There's David Visa, that's a big match player and a big name in the circuit around in T20 cricket. JJ Smith, also a big name. Jane Freilink, then Pinky Jaffrans, Ruben Trumpelman, Carl Birkenstock, Bernard Scholz. That is the team. Very tongue-twisting though.
And they're pretty much at full strength here. Just one change, Bernard Scholz from the last game we did with them. But other than that, Pinky Jaffrans, Ruben Trumpelman, Carl Birkenstock and Jan Freilich took a 6 for versus the UAE. A fantastic performance there. Merv Erasmus already has a huge 100 against PNG in the tournament. David Weiss as well among the runs and the wickets, and took an absolutely brilliant catch versus the UAE. So they're going all guns out trying to get this victory over Scotland.
Absolutely, but it's not going to be easy to overhaul the Scottish batting unit because this looks like a very, very strong batting unit. Yesterday, they won the game comfortably, and it was a tricky surface. The ball was not coming onto the bat in the middle overs. Well, it's 32 degrees Celsius here, which is pretty good, I would say, because yesterday it was very, very hot.
Absolutely, it's an early AM start, and the umpires out there, Iftikhar Ali and Mr. Shiju on the left, two of the elite umpires in the UAE domestic scene, and we wish them all the best. They're very high quality. They get probably around 99% of their decisions right, and it's good to see. For an elite match, for two elite teams, we have the elite umpires out there as well.
Absolutely, and the umpiring has been really good in the UAE T20 Summer Bash. Till now, we've seen quite a few close calls of runouts, and the umpires have been picture perfect on those decisions that they have taken already. So yeah, the umpires are out there. The players are going to be out very, very soon, and we're going to get a start on with the game as the sun is now starting to heat up. The morning was very pleasant today, Ahmed. How did you start your morning today?
Indeed, when I got here at the ICC Academy at around 8 a.m., it was very cloudy, felt like an English morning, a test match morning, and I definitely eyed the pitch and thought perhaps we should have a bowl first, and perhaps Namibia thought the same, but since then in the last 20 minutes, it's completely changed. It's now blazing hot out there, and they might regret their decision.
Well, we'll have to wait and watch for that. Yesterday, certainly, UAE winning the game, Ireland regretting to actually winning the toss and putting them into bat. But what's going to happen is because of so much moisture from last night, there has to be something for the bowlers as well up front. So if you apply yourself as a batsman and play those 2-3 overs out, it's going to be easy and it's going to come onto the bat. That is what happens with moisture. You know, it's a double-edged sword. It can do good for the bowlers. It can do good for the batters as well.
The two Scottish openers out there in the middle. Kyle Kurtzer, the captain, on the right. Of course, both teams are playing in dark blue, so a slight bit of confusion, but shouldn't be too hard to work out. Namibia, of course, have won the toss and elected to bowl first. They have a very useful seam bowling attack. David Wiese, Ruben Trumpelman, and this man played a fabulous innings yesterday. George Henry Munsey has a T20 100 to his name. Look at that strike rate, 154.8. Absolutely brilliant. A hard-hitting left-hand batter. He will get on with the game. He's not going to waste time. And Kyle Kurtzer, we know all about him. Class act. Has served the Scottish national team for many years. Has a World Cup 100 to his name as well back in 2015. So he is their gun player.
Absolutely, and so is George. George has been very, very good. Yesterday as well, he played some amazing switch hits, some reverse sweeps, and actually got 4 boundaries, but it eventually led to his downfall as well. He lost his wicket on a similar delivery. Ruben Trumpelman on our screen right now, playing his second game, and he's been doing good for them as well.
Yes, he was very impressive in the first game versus the UAE. Hits the deck hard, tall, big, powerful lad. Has a bit of pace about him as well, and good to see a slip in place from Captain Merv Erasmus as well. Fine leg in the circle, so he'll be looking to swing that ball outside off, get that slip into play. Right then, here we go. Namibia versus Scotland at the Dafa News UAE Summer T20 Bash. Swinging delivery and immediately cracked to that extra cover fielder, the captain himself, Merv Erasmus.
Well, a good start for the bowler there. Swinging, shaping just outside the off stump for the left-handed batter, George Munsey. And nicely played as well, right in the line with the ball. Didn't try to go too hard at it. And that is what I was saying. You know, with overcast conditions, a little moisture in the air, you can get that swing, you can get the kick off the wicket as well, but it's going to come onto the bat if you apply yourself.
Back of a length this time, swinging away. And the umpire has outstretched his arms. Those will be the first runs for Scotland.
Munsey's eyes brightened up seeing that ball outside the off stump, and he wanted to go hard on that one. But it was way away from him. A lot of swing. Could not control the swing, the bowler, Ruben, there.
This time, now that's the channel you need to be at, Ruben. Some oohs and ahs from the Namibia fielders as well. If you can bowl there 6 out of 6, you'll pick up a lot of wickets at international level.
Of course, very good delivery. So a big hi going out to everyone who is watching us at all our partner channels and of course online as well. And this is going to be a good game of cricket, and we're going to bring you all the action live from the ICC Academy ground.
This time having a dip at that, chase that outswinger, has to be careful. And he is also perhaps having a word with himself. Get in line with the ball, get on top of it, and then go for those cut shots.
A good start for the bowler Ruben, minus that delivery that was way outside the off stump and was given a wide by the umpire. He's been spot on, just around that corridor of uncertainty for the batter. Muncy is a player who likes the ball to come onto the bat. He likes to innovate shots. So if you bowl him in those regions, he's going to get iffy really, really soon, because that strike rate shows that he hits those big shots as well. A strike rate of more than 155 in internationals, really good.
This time an in-dipper worked away towards mid-wicket, and they'll scurry through for a single, so George Muncy will get off the mark. Not sweetly timed by any means, but always getting off that dreaded 0 is a sigh of relief.
Well, a good ball. He was shaping the ball away from the left-hander on those last 3 deliveries that he had bowled, and this time around coming in very quickly into Muncy. Although a single for the taking there. Quidza is going to be on strike now. It's a good start, I would say, for Ruben. He needs to continue bowling in those channels where it's not easy to get him away. It would be interesting to see what he gonna do, because left-handers usually swing it into the right-hander, but he's already bowled one that was going into the left-hander. That means he might go away from the right-hander as well.
Extremely detailed and concise analysis from my co-commentator Faizan Khan. He truly reads the mind of a batter and a bowler. Oh, look at that. Almost swinging into the pads. Kyle Kurza, that front foot was out there, but he got his bat down in time.
Perfect defense there. Very decisive on the front foot. He knew he had to come onto the front foot, playing it with the full face of the bat as well. But good start for Ruben. He's swinging it. And as predicted, he was going to swing in always into the right-hander. Good pace as well. Here he comes once again.
This time an in-dipper, but punched away towards mid-off. Chance for a run-out. Oh, that was very, very close. If he had hit, Kyle Kurtzer would have been heading back to the dugout.
Absolutely. I think that was a dangerous run. And you don't need to do that in the first half of the innings, because the ball is going to come onto the bat. You need to apply yourselves. This is what I've been saying from the very first ball that has been bowled. You need to apply yourself and play on the merit of the delivery, and you should not go for these risky singles up front.
Absolutely challenging mid-off and mid-on within the circle. You need to be very precise. If you hit it a bit too hard, the angles always favor the fielder, but Kyle Kurtzer with a huge sigh of relief. 3 for no loss after the first over. Steady stuff from the Namibian opening bowler, Ruben Trumpelman. He has good height, he swings the ball. And David Wiesa, need no introduction to this man. A top-level performer all over the world in franchise cricket. And that economy rate, 7.5, is more than respectable.
Absolutely. 5 for 23, his best figures. 25 matches in 22nd game that he's playing today. The international matches, that is. And he's a wicket-taking bowler for his unit. And I think it's a good positive way to start with David Wiesa as well, because he's your big match player and you want to keep him into the fold of things up early.
Absolutely. You have a senior veteran, then you should entrust him with maximum responsibility. Oh, bit of extra bounce, trying to work it away towards square leg, off the pad. So they will rotate the strike and immediately hitting that good length spot and getting some extra bounce.
Absolutely. This has been the story with this wicket that we have seen over the past 4 days. The ball, if you pitch it in the right areas, actually gets a kick from the wicket, holds up just a little bit. And that is what happened with David Wiesa there. Also, David Wiesa, you might look at him and you would think, okay, gentle right arm, medium pace, but he can actually surprise you sometimes.
Definitely a very, very handy player to have in any of your franchise league team or in a T20 team. Wields the long handle, hits some massive sixes. and can bowl as well. This time flipped away over the fine leg fielder. George Munsey has flicked that away for 4.
Beautiful shot. This is how he plays, Munsey. You just cannot stop him from scoring those shots, and that is what his career strike rate shows as well. This was a poor ball, though, down the leg side from David Visa, and just helping it on its way. The match presence is there for Munsey. He knew the field is there just to trickle it away to help it along with the pace of the ball.
This time coming into the batter. Good fielding at backward point. Saves that single. A tall, towering left-hand batter. Very similar to a very well-known South African opener you might have heard of, Graham Smith.
Absolutely. Looks like him, though. Very tall, very strongly built. High back lift as well. Plays those kind of shots again.
And he played a very, very useful hand against PNG yesterday in the afternoon. David Visa adjusting his field, pushing that third man out and moving that mid-wicket to a squarer position. Short and wide and cut away, this time into the gap behind backward point. Third man will give chase, but he has absolutely no chance. 4 runs.
Beautifully played. This time towards the other side of the ground, and this time even better, punching it with his hands quickly coming onto the ball there. And yes, certainly a lot of Graham Smith in that particular shot from him. So my co-commentator Ahmed has an uncanny knack of picking out these players who resemble other players in the past or the current scenarios. Absolutely amazing. Thumbs up to you, Ahmed.
12 for no loss are the Scottish. Got a couple of boundaries away now. This time bash down the ground, beats the mid-off fielder. Back-to-back boundaries for George Munsey.
Well, with the kind of attack that has come against David Visa, he would certainly need a visa to come back and bowl in this game.
Brilliant stuff, yeah. This time pitched up, invited him to bash the ball down the ground, and George Munsey said, "Thank you very much, mate. Here you go."
Brilliant start by Munsey. 13 of 8 deliveries, 3 fours in this over already. And a leg by coming in as well. 13 runs of the first 5 deliveries. Let's see what happens on the last ball of the over.
This time punch through, extra cover. This time a despairing dive by the fielder. They just might pull it in. Yes, good fielding effort. But they will pick up an easy 3. So George Munsey has gotten off to yet another fast start and is looking ominous. 2 overs gone. Scotland are 19 for no loss.
Well, 3 runs on the last delivery and another cracker of a shot. He gets into position really quickly, transfers that weight onto the back foot nicely and punches it away. Not trying to hit it too hard, just punching it away through the line of the ball. Very nicely played for 3 runs, in fact, on that particular delivery. And the last over was very, very expensive. 3 fours, a leg by and a 3 coming in that over. 16 runs from the second over from the experienced David Visa.
Yes, indeed. I think Merwe Erasmus, the captain of Namibia, will need to reconfigure here. And he's ringing the bowling changes already. Johannes Smith coming in, replacing Ruben Trumpelman. Left arm medium pacer, not too quick, but very steady. Has 16 wickets to his name, so he's had a good start to his T20I career. Just a young lad, age 25, and that economy rate of 6.5 is brilliant. Munsey on strike. Foolish delivery, lovely punch down the ground, but the mid-on was a lot straighter. But you can see he's really hammering the ball nicely, making a beautiful sound off the willow.
And he's been doing that continuously since yesterday. So he's in good touch. The ball is coming onto the bat. And he's getting everything from the middle of the bat, which is a very, very good feeling when you're the opening batter.
I would have honestly backed Trumpelman to bowl another over at him with the swinging ball. This time solidly in that 4th stump line. So you can see what Johannes Smith provides. Steady medium pace. He's not going to do a lot with the ball. He'll induce the batter to make errors. It won't be something spectacular from his own skills.
Well, certainly that is the right way to go. Good length is called good length because that is a difficult length to face for the batter. So I think he's going to bowl it in those areas in and around good length.
Hit away towards mid-wicket. What a catch taken. No, he's put it down. It's the captain himself. A big celebration from Johannes Smith, but credit to the fielder. He immediately said, I have grasped it. A big opportunity, a life given to that man on screen, George Munsey.
Absolutely 100 points for the fielder there for match fairness. It was in the air, it was not timed well, and he had just grasped it. Good attempt though. Wonderful diving effort.
Premature celebration there from Johannes Smith. Oh dear, when he turned to his left, he got the bad news. And Merve Erasmus, the captain, he took 4 catches in the outfield against the UAE, but today it wasn't an easy one, to be fair. He had to dive in front. Foolish delivery this time, punch down the ground. Mid-on gets across swiftly, but Munsey will be relieved to get off strike.
Well, good shot coming in from Munsey once again, this time from the middle of the bat. The only shot that hasn't come from the middle was that last one where there was chance and it was grasped. Although a good effort coming in from the captain himself for Namibia. Kodza, the opposite captain now is going to be on strike for this next delivery.
Indeed, he's been watching all the action from the other end as George Munsey has been smacking the ball to all parts. So this bowling change almost did the trick for Merve Erasmus. This time once again within the stumps, inner half of the bat. So it's very much a fire and ice combination here. Munsey the aggressor and Kurtzer just looking to sit in, anchor the innings.
Absolutely, and this is what we were talking about. It's got something in the first overs for the bowlers as well. So you need to apply yourselves. You need to come in and you need to bat according to the merit of the delivery. And that is what Kodza is doing. He's faced 4 balls. He's scored 1 run. But there's no hurry whatsoever. If he stays back, he can hit those big ones as well.
Mid-on has been pushed back. Lovely punch towards the mid-off fielder. And he really nailed that one. A good over from Johannes Smith, only 1 run off it. 3 overs gone, Scotland are 20 for no loss.
Good start, certainly a good start after that very expensive over coming in from David Visa. That last over, 16 runs came in that particular over, 15 off the bat, 1 leg by. And I think there's going to be a change on the other end as well because of that.
Henry Munsey already off to 17 runs off 13, really took toll on David Visa's opening over. Smacked him for 3 boundaries and a 3. Sufyan Sharif, Matthew Cross, Richard Barrington. A lot of batting still to come. Matthew Cross as well was in the lineup in the previous game, but they finished the run chase with a lot of authority. So good to see Team Scotland also shuffling their pack, trying out all their options. This time a bit of a off-cutter there from Ruben Trumpelman, perhaps kept a touch low as well.
Absolutely, I think it was a little low coming in with the angle from the left-handed bowler. He bowled a very good first over as well, Ruben Trumpelman. And I think he troubled Munsey in that over, and he's going to keep on doing that just outside the off stump. And we've seen if anything comes on his body or closer to his body, he can hit those beautifully. So outside the off stump is the way to go against Munsey.
This time down the leg side, try to whip it away, but only getting it off the pad. They will scurry through for a leg by. And he looks to be favouring that pickup shot on the leg side.
It was another good delivery because he's usually bowled away from the right-hander, but he's bowled one of those that comes in sharply into the left-hander. So that was a good bowl, a surprise delivery coming in from the bowler Ruben, and that is the reason why possibly that he was a little confused and he was a little late onto that shot. Otherwise, he would have picked it up and it would have raised to the boundary because there's no protection on the leg side for him.
21 for no loss. In the air this time, straight to extra cover. Kyle Kurtzer has to walk back. Excellent bowling by Ruben Trumpelman. Scotland have lost their first wicket.
Brilliant start, brilliant by Namibia after that disastrous over from David Visa. What a delivery. There it goes. A slow ball sticking into the wicket just a little bit, into the shot really early, and the feed going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. But Kodza will have to go back to the pavilion.
He's just eyeing the pitch. Perhaps a bit of misbehavior there, but He hasn't gotten going today, 1 off 6. So Namibia getting the early strike they wanted after electing to bowl first. Ruben Trumpelman bowling very steadily. Hits that back of length area. He's a tall lad, has a bit of pace about him. And he's done the trick for his captain. And he'd be relieved to get that early breakthrough.
Brilliant start. After 2 overs, 19 runs were taken, and it was looking like Scottish batsmen are going to run away in the first 6 overs. But the Namibia bowlers have done well. In the last over, there was just a single that came in that over, and this over as well has started really well, and now they have picked up a wicket as well. I would say Namibia is looking on top in this game already.
Matthew Cross, the new batter coming in, getting an opportunity up the order. And this was that dismissal then. Just played early into the shot, and that is a dolly of a catch to extra cover. Muncy is going to be the key player now. 17 off 15. He's gotten off to a very nice start, as has this man on screen. Very imposing figure. Ruben Trumpelman. Edged and taken! First ball duck for Matthew Cross. Sensational stuff here from Namibia. 21 for 2.
Well, this is what I've been talking about. He bowls it into the right-handers, and then there's a surprise delivery that goes away from the right-handers. And this is the away-going delivery, beautifully bowled, coming into the line of the ball, but not covering that just a little bit swing that we saw from the bowler Trumpelman. Trumpelman is trampling upon the Scottish batting right now.
Good catch taken there by Zane Green behind the stumps as well. So Matt Cross, unfortunately, going for a golden duck. But that's the sort of nightmare delivery that no batter wants to face. First up, right in that perfect length, perfect line, just moving away off the deck. A feather edge, and off you go, mate. Back to the hut.
Long walk for him, because golden duck, nobody, even in domestic matches, would like it. Here, in an international game at a time, you had an early wicket and going for the golden duck. I was saying that Namibia already was looking after the first wicket on top. Now they are looking truly in control.
Richard Barrington then coming in, very experienced. 59 games for Scotland in T20 eyes already, and has a ton to his name. So he's definitely a key batter there in the middle order alongside Callum McLeod. And that was an absolute peach. A dream delivery from Ruben Trumpelman, getting just reward.
On a hat-trick here, Trumpelman. 2 and 2 on those last 2 deliveries. We'll have to see if there's going to be a couple of slips or just a slip in place. I would go with a couple of slips here.
Right then, could be a very special moment here in the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash. Ruben Trumpelman on a hat-trick. Here we go. Scotland 21 for 2. Oh, and he hit that perfect length once again, but solidly behind that, Richard Barrington.
Unfortunately for the bowler, this time around he didn't get any swing going for him. Had it just left the batsman, that this would have become really difficult for the batter to actually, get in line of the ball and getting it from the middle of the bat. Richard Barrington, though, as my co-commentator Ahmed already pointed out, he has a ton to his name. So he can bat and he can score at brisk pace as well. Looks like a very compact player.
This time safely left outside off. A brilliant over there from Ruben Trumpelman. In his 2 overs, he's given 2 wickets for just 3 runs. Fantastic stuff. Was on a hat-trick at one stage. Eventful over. Scotland 21 for 2.
After the first 2 overs, it was looking like Scotland had plans in place and they were going for the big hits and they wanted to score freely. But those last 2 overs from Namibia have turned the tide around for the Scottish batters. 2 wickets down already with just 21 on the board, going at almost 5.2 runs an over. Ruben Trumpelman, 2 overs, look at that, 3 runs, 2 wickets, 1.5. That is his economy rate. Johannes Smith, 1 over, 1 run. Those are the 2 bowlers who have done most damage. David Visa's over was taken for runs, and that is when we were thinking that Scotland is going to run away in the power play against Namibia.
A lot of responsibility on this man's broad shoulders. Nicely cracked away this time once again, but straight to the cover fielder, Piqué Yafrance out there. So excellent bowling changes here by the captain of Namibia, Merwe Erasmus. He recognized that David Wiesa was going for runs, immediately pulled him from the attack, put Johannes Smith on from the far end. Ruben Truppelmann replaced David Wiesa and rewarded his captain with 2 quick wickets. Back of a length this time, once again punching it off the back foot. So he's really good on the offside, times the ball really well.
Mansi, from whatever we've seen in yesterday's game as well, he can play all around the ground. He's a complete 360 player for Scotland. So it is very, very important not to give him width outside the off stump. Don't bowl it too straight to him as well, into the stumps. Good bowling this.
Bowled him! Through the gate this time, trapped on the back foot. Johannes Smith pitched it up and he's hit the timber. Big wicket here for Namibia. Muncie has to walk back.
This is the biggest of them all. Wonderful bowling once again. Up to the batter, not too straight, just on that off-stump line, making the batter go for the shot there and playing all around it. He wanted to go first. I think the first instinct was to go at mid-off. Then he decided that it's dipping in. He wants to go up and over mid-wicket and playing all around it. Completely been foxed by the bowler there. And it was bowled in that good region as well. Brilliant, brilliant start for Namibia.
Incredible turnaround. They were 21 for no loss at one stage and now 21 for 3. Henry Muncie 17 off 18. He was looking good. He was timing the ball well, but just a small mental error, not playing straight, playing across the line. Johannes Smith pitched it up and hit the middle stump. Fantastic bowling. He should have had 2 wickets to his name already, but he's got 1 so far.
Absolutely, there was a dropped catch. It was a difficult chance from the captain himself. Craig Wallace comes into bat, right-hand bat, 15 matches, not a lot of runs behind him. And that strike rate a little problematic as well, 116. But right now, this is the kind of strike rate that Scotland would prefer their batters to bat with, because they need consolidation on this wicket now. So, what I was saying, I would like to bat first. I'm going to take my words back, and I think it was a great decision coming in from Namibia.
Hindsight is always 20/20, as they say. This time, solidly behind that is Craig Wallace. Slip in place, so good to see some attacking field placing from Merv Erasmus. And just in a space of 7 or 8 deliveries, this match has completely flipped 180 degrees. Now Namibia, the Blue Eagles, looking imperious.
Dream start for Namibia. Scotland, the mighty Scottish batting lineup, 3 wickets down, just 21 on the board.
This time tucked away towards fine leg, playing across the line to a straight delivery. Could have been dodgy, but Craig Wallace managed that quite nicely and gets off the mark.
So a single after a long time. It seems as if yesterday we had a single and then a single taken on this particular delivery. There was a long delay between those 2 runs, and 3 wickets have fallen down. After that, we are seeing a single here for Scotland. Richard Berrington is going to be on strike, hasn't made a run yet. They would need consolidation from him. He's the main man now.
Oh, beauty from Johannes Smith to end the over. An absolute Jaffa. Beats the outside edge of Richard Berrington. 5 overs gone. Scotland are 22 for 3. And with that, there's going to be a change in the comm box as we two step out. And Shoaib Ahmed and Abdur Rahman Tariq to take over.
So good morning and welcome to all our viewers all around the world to this exciting game of cricket. Scotland versus Namibia, an interesting passage of play in the first 5 overs we've witnessed here in the comm box. To give me company and to give you company as well is Abdur Rahman Tariq.
Morning Shoaib, morning to all our viewers as well. 22 for 3. Scotland, they started off really well, got about 15 runs in an over, if I can remember correctly. Then have lost the plot completely.
Yes, that's right. Meanwhile, it's Wise who's brought back into the attack. First over was very expensive, gave away 15 in that first over. In fact, 14, or that rather 15, I correct myself. So expensive over coming in from Wise, and then a good comeback from Scotland.
Well, David Wiese, international player, he's played a lot of franchise cricket, even represented South Africa on the international scene. Again on the stumps, very well bowled. So I think they had a plan to target him, but 15 runs off his over, that must have made the Namibians very nervous. But a good comeback by the rest of the bowlers. And now, as we've seen in the previous games as well, consolidation, the name of the game for Scotland. Very good looking shot there through the point region. Third man chasing, gets there. We'll have to have a look. There is a third umpire who's going to see whether that body touched the rope or not. I think the umpires are happy with that. Very good fielding from the third man fielder.
Yes, a good cricket overall. Saved certain runs for Namibia. Diving effort from the point fielder, but then again, brilliant stuff coming in. This one has just been tucked towards the square leg region, will just be a single. So after that very expensive over from Wiese, he's come back strongly in this over, given away just 4 in his 5 deliveries.
Well, again, one of those players with the international pedigree, so to speak. Lot of franchise cricket he's played, even represented RCB. So he's been all over the world. Last ball of his second over, they take an easy single. So an indifferent power play for the Scots. They started off really well and then lost their way. 27 for 3 at the end of the power play.
Yes, I think the power play definitely belongs to Namibia. They haven't given away a lot of runs and have managed to take 3 wickets. So that is definitely going to be a power play that belongs to Namibia.
What a change. Left them over. Well, as my co-commentator says, some wildlife here at the ICC.
Nicely played this time, punched off the front foot, beautiful drive in the gap, and that's gone all the way for 4. Richard Barrington has played a brilliant shot, good shot, giving him a lot of confidence.
Well, he started off where he finished yesterday. Beautiful shot in the gap. And that lightning outfield of the ICC Academy grounds. The deep cover fielder had no chance of stopping that. That will give him a lot of confidence.
Well, it was Wallace who had hit that boundary, so all that credit about Richard Barrington now has to go to Wallace. But yes, a great shot. So pleasing to the eye. You always get some pleasure, visual pleasure from when you see and witness these kind of shots. And that also puts a lot of pressure on the bowler. Slow delivery on the pads, appeal from the bowler. But I think there was some bat involved from Wallace. So safe to say that he had some bat onto it. 4 on the first ball and a good comeback from Jan.
Very, very close I think you're right. There was a little bit of bat on that. But that cover drive, aesthetically the best looking shot in the book in the game of cricket, I feel.
This time again on the pads, quick run taken. Good fielding there. I think it was Williams. But couldn't stop that single. So 6.4 overs, 32 for 3, Scotland. And this has been a good, brilliant bowling performance from Namibia, especially in the first 6 overs, to hold Scotland and also take their wickets in the same time.
Can played in the gap. The point fielder dived, but unfortunately far away from it. They take a single. So now steady scoring from Scotland. Jan Frylinck, as we saw in that game against the UAE, 6 wickets in a T20 game. So he can definitely do the damage. And Scotland will have to be wary of that.
Yes, absolutely. He's been very, very critical, very important for Namibia. And again, nicely bowled. Not too fast, but knows where to bowl and perfectly executes his bowling plans. 7 overs gone. Scotland are 33 for 3.
We're coming live from the ICC Cricket Academy ground in Dubai. Beautiful facility this, not just for cricket as well. They've got a lot of cricket nets. So have a look. Some people working out in the gym. Our rolling cameraman now coming in the pictures. New bowler Bernard Schultz coming into bowl.
Down there! Good burn! Good burn!
Hit really hard. Solid drive to the cover fielder. No run. Namibia putting on the brakes on the Scotland batting.
One! Nice, Stevie!
Yes, this time it has been played in the gap. We'll get a single. But you're absolutely right when you say that Namibia have actually put pressure on Scotland right from ball number 1. Yes, there were a few overs where they scored runs, but they've come back strongly into the game, have taken 3 wickets and given away just 34 runs. And now it's going to be even more challenging with the spin bowlers coming in. The pitches are not that fast, so it's not going to be easy for the Scottish batters to score runs freely. They will have to innovate, adapt to the conditions and do that quickly.
Good burn! Good birdie! Good burn!
Bernard Schultz coming into bowl again.
Down there! Good burn out.
Lot of pressure now on Scotland to keep the runs going. And our comm box has some amazing camera angles. Yesterday we had the full comm box. This time we've got a more intimate view.
Yes, that's because of the requests coming in from our fans. They wanted to see us up and close.
Yours, buddy! Buddy! Yo!
This time it would have been very, very tight. A direct hit would have caused a lot of trouble. Already Scotland are in some trouble. They don't want to get run out here. That's the last thing that they would want.
A missed opportunity that by Bernard. That would have been a run out had he hit.
Down, bro!
Yes, Yes, a full toss delivery, a rare loose delivery from Bernard. And that has been played towards the longer for a single to end the over. 7.6, in fact, 8 overs now. And Scotland are 37 for 3. So Namibia versus Scotland is what you're watching in case you've just joined us. This is a T20 international coming live from ICC Academy ground in Dubai. And it's a hot summer day. It's not actually summers here in Dubai. It actually is supposed to get a little better, but it is not. It's still pretty hot. Eight overs gone. Scotland 37 for 3.
Can play it to that point fielder, no run. Yes, it is a hot summer's day and it is quite humid. So I think just overnight the pitch might have become a little moist. We are unfortunately not allowed to go on the pitch anymore due to COVID restrictions. So we couldn't get an idea of what the pitch will play like. It seems the ball does hold up a little bit.
Catches the call up in the air, will just fall short of the fielder at square leg. And a risky shot, had not timed it too well. He should have either played it on the ground or had taken the aerial route. He should have gone full throttle, but not to be. Lucky escape, just a single.
Yeah, he was lucky that was a miss hit. I think he was trying to go over that fine leg fielder, the short fine leg fielder. Didn't get timing at all.
Oh, Yanas, Yanas!
This time straight down the ground. So Jan has managed to keep the pressure on. And it is also important for Scotland now to re-strategize their plans for the first innings. They are off to a shaky start, so they need to realistically get a target in mind. As of now, it looks like around 120, 130 maybe should be a good score. What do you think of the pitch of the Rahman, from whatever we've seen from on the television and how the batters have scored? What do you gauge of the wicket?
Well, in that case, the pitch was not used at all. Jan Freiling thinking there's absolutely no need to use that pitch. No ball given by the umpire in a free hit. And again, I think that humidity, the sweat, a ball just slipping out of his hand. We're talking about the pitch. It looks green. And again, it's been quite humid today. Maybe just a little bit of moisture on the wicket. And the ball sticking into it. So yeah, 130, 140 might just be a match winning total here. We'll have to see if the wicket does quicken up as the sun hits it a little bit more.
This time a short delivery played towards the square leg right in front of us. Good fielding effort there from Birkenstock. Nicely done. Another single added to the total.
Again, very interesting delivery that on a free hit, short, slower bouncer from Jan Freiling. Scotland not capitalizing, just getting a single. Good fielding by Birkenstock, square leg. Again, just rolling his fingers on that ball. It just sticks in the wicket. Jan Freiling has bowled very well today, as well as in that first game against the UAE, where he picked up a 6 for. And barring that no ball, he's bowled a very steady over so far.
Slower delivery on the pads this time, played straight to fine leg. And a run taken. 9 overs gone. And it's 43 for 3. Scotland not to a great start. We expected a lot better performance coming in from Scotland considering how they played yesterday. Absolutely made a mockery of the chase, I would say, winning it comfortably. We thought that there would be a great fight from Papua New Guinea with the ball, but Scotland stole the show away and gave no chance for Papua New Guinea to come into the game. So seeing that performance today, just a little bit off the mark, I would say, Scotland.
But Bernard Schultz comes to bowl again. They were hoping that ball had hit the batsman's boot before going to the keeper's gloves. Well, Shoaib, one of the things that has changed obviously is the conditions. I think yesterday they got the best of the batting conditions at the ICC Academy.
One!
Yes, that's right. We've seen the pitch gets a little better in the second half of the play. So it is definitely a factor to consider. Batting first or batting second. Namibia have the upper hand. And they need to make full use of it, because if they can manage to restrict Scotland to anything around or less than 120, it will be a good score to chase.
Oh, yeah, one.
This time a big heave, but not timing it. So yes, of course, the heat is taking a toll on the Scottish batters.
Another thing, Shoaib, we've seen through this UAE Summer T20 bash is all the teams rely very heavily on their top 3 batsmen to score runs. So as soon as you make a breakthrough, get those 2 wickets up top.
One.
Shorter delivery played easily to the long on fielder for a single.
Yes, both the spinners have done a good job. In fact, Bernard and Jan have actually managed to stem the flow of runs and keep the pressure on. Jan with his medium paces and slower deliveries and his variations has been very effective. Meanwhile, thickish outside edge straight to short third man. Quick run taken, but will be safe in the end. That's good running from Richard and Wallace.
A very intelligent running there. They saw the short third man fielder was right at the edge of the circle. He got an outside edge. By the time that ball was collected, Wallace had already completed the run. So even in this heat, they are pushing themselves, going for those quick singles wherever they can.
Yes, those singles and doubles are vital as the boundaries are not coming in for Scotland. They need to keep rotating the strike and try to get an odd boundary if they can. There you go, a sweep coming in, an appeal for stumping, but Iftikhar Ali, the umpire, thinks otherwise.
Well, let's have a look again what has happened. The foot was outside the line. Oh, that was very close. Very close indeed. I think just when he flicked the bails, his foot was inside. A close call. 10 overs, 47 for 3 Scotland. And with that, we'll have a quick change in the commentary box. Ahmed and Faizan will be joining you.
.47 for 3 at the halfway stage then. Scotland trying to dig in, trying to recover after being rocked with 3 quick wickets in the batting power play, pardon me. Namibia have been all over them. And Faizan, what would you project as a good score that you could perhaps defend after the next 10 overs?
From here on, I believe there should be at least 130 on the board, because the ball is doing its trickery on this wicket. It's sticking just a little bit into the wicket.
Carl Birkenstock being introduced into the attack, immediately punched down the ground, so he's more of a sit-in stock kind of a bowler, military medium at best. Richard Barrington and Craig Wallace trying to rebuild here, so naturally the strike rates are not what you need at T20I level, but hanging in there, occupying the crease is the name of the hour right now.
Absolutely.
This time smashed over cow corner all the way for 6. So just as we said you need to dig in, Craig Wallace has tonked this downtown for half a dozen.
Well, this is aggressive cricket. This is more of what is required. Consolidation is good. There's no doubt that 3 wickets have fallen in a span of 5 deliveries, and after that you need to come in and build an innings. But this is one way of building an innings. You know, go aggressive. The Australian way of doing it.
Fair point. Craig Wallace getting an opportunity today. 21 not out of 23. Looks an ideal player for the situation. He has the defensive technique to keep out the good deliveries and got that brute strength to muscle it over deep mid-wicket for 6.
And it was flat and hard and beautifully timed as well. Wonderful shot coming in from the batter Wallace there. Score predictor 132. That is exactly what I was saying. At least this much on the board here would ensure that they have something to bowl at.
Agree with you there, Faizan. Ideally, they'd like to push that up to 140, 145. This time, punched off the back foot to the cover sweeper. So, Craig Wallace building his innings quite nicely now.
And also, they have the firepower deep down in their batting as well, where they can push the pedal and they can get to that 145 mark. And if they do that, 150 is a very, very good score on this wicket. Richard Barrington has the veers to actually go for the big ones, and he has the strike rate as well to back it up.
This time bowled within the stumps, pretending to have a shy at the stumps, but Richard Barrington very experienced. He's seen them all, played them all, done it all.
Absolutely. And a strike rate of 140 plus at the world level, international level. That also shows you that he can change gears whenever he wants to.
This time launched down the ground towards that long off fielder, but he will only get some fingertips on it. Yet another 6 runs.
And especially towards the bigger side of the ground. This is beautifully played, using his feet to perfection. So they have decided that they're going to go for the kill here. They have consolidated
down
enough,
the ground
and now they
towards
need
that long off
runs
fielder, but
on
he will
board.
only
Some big shots coming in out of nowhere for Scotland.
It was J.J. Smith at long off, and he's a tall lad. This time nicely working that ball down to long on, use of the wrist. And if J.J. Smith at long off can't reach that ball, then there's no chance. It's going all the way.
Absolutely. Brilliant shot. 62 for the loss of 3 after 11. The second most expensive over of the innings after David Visa's 16-run over, which was the second over of the innings. In this over, they've given just 15 runs. And in fact, 15 runs is a lot of runs when you were consolidating and getting overs where you could get only 3 runs, 4 runs. Now they are looking good, these two.
Merwe Erasmus really ringing the changes. 6 bowlers used already, so Carl Birkenstock can be rested if required. The left arm spinner Bernard Scholz, 2 overs none for 8, has done a decent job, as has J.J. Smith. Picked up a wicket for his captain as well. So will be interesting to see, does he continue with the seamers? Nope, it's Bernard Scholz himself. Flatter delivery punched towards long off. I would like him to just throw up the ball a little bit though.
Absolutely. That is the attacking way of doing it. Bowl it up to the batter. But I think what has happened in the last over would of course ensure that he bowls it a little flatter. He doesn't want the batter to come out and hit him big.
Yeah, he's just firing the ball in there. Quickish, not looking to tweak it. I think at this stage you can afford to perhaps try to be a bit more attacking with your bowling lines and lengths. This time powered down the ground once again, clears that front foot, and 1 bounce for 4.
Barrington shows you why he is one of the more dangerous batsmen in this Scottish lineup. Beautifully played, just clearing the front leg and
This
hitting
time
it
powered down the ground
straight
once
down
again,
the ground.
clears that
1
front
bounce
foot.
into the fence.
Flatter delivery this time. Off the back foot punch towards deep mid wicket. They should be pushing for 2, but they'll stick to 1. I think that's poor running, Faizan.
Well, I think they don't want to give away a wicket here, Ahmed, just by, running a rash run. Runs are coming in, and they've started to flow in. A lot of 6s and 4s we have seen in the past few deliveries.
Reverse sweep, top edge, in the air, short third man, takes it safely. And there you go. That mistake has been produced. Bernard Schultz slowed it up, threw it up, and they've got that priced wicket. Reverse sweep,
Well,
top.
spot on Ahmed. Ahmed wanted him to bowl like that. He did. And a safe catch coming in from Birkenstock. That's a big wicket because this partnership was looking threatening. One shot too many for the batsman Wallace there, who's walking back now. Craig Wallace, 23 of 26, 1 4, 1 6s. It was a premeditated shot coming in from him. He had decided in his head already that he's going to go for the big one, although the runs had come in this particular over. So I would say they made a slight mistake of pushing the pedal just a little bit too much, just a little bit too early.
It was a handy 48-run partnership. At one stage they were 21 for no loss, then collapsed to 21 for 3. After that, a bit of a rebuild. Craig Wallace played a decent hand. But now, when we're in the latter half of the innings, somebody has to get a move on. Somebody needs to stand up and be counted for the Tartan army of Scotland. And Dylan Budge has been given an opportunity. Early days just yet in his international career, so I wouldn't read too much into those numbers. But this is a massive opportunity here.
All Dylan needs to do here is to rotate the strike. Richard is looking good. Berrington has hit those 6s as well. And a 4 in this particular over itself. 24 of 21. He needs to be a lead man here.
Absolutely, we've shown he has that finishing ability. Yesterday afternoon against PNG, played a very, very good innings. So Dylan Budge, just age 26, so early days yet in his international career. Once again, that flatter delivery, punch down the ground. Eventful over once again. 12 overs gone. Scotland are 70 for 4.
Just when it looks like that Scotland is going to run away with the game, they're going to build a partnership, score some runs, that is when a wicket fell for the Scottish side, be it after 2 overs 19 without loss, then 21 for 1 and 21 for 3 itself. Now a 48-run partnership being broken here. Let's take a look at the scorecard. Henry Muncy, 17 of 18. Kyle Kodza, 1 of 6. Matthew Cross couldn't score today. Richard Berrington still there, looking good, 25 of 22. Dylan Budge has just joined him, and Craig Wallace. That was the partnership that we were talking about. The 48-run partnership broken in the last over by Bernard Schultz. Brilliant comeback once again from this Namibia side. You have them in the corner, and then they bounce back.
Been extremely impressed with the Blue Eagles throughout the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash. I've loved their bowling plans. I've loved their batting executions. Anytime they don't recognize the spinner, they start bringing out those paddles and reverse sweeps. They don't let anybody settle, and this is an excellent move. Ruben Trumpelman coming back into the attack, bowling it into the batter. So Merwe Erasmus, the captain of Namibia, not content to let a partnership develop. He's looking for wickets.
Good captaincy this. Aggressive move coming in from the captain, Merwe. 70 for the loss of 4 now, 12.1 overs gone. And coming around the wicket this time around, Trumpelman, he bowled his first step from over the wicket and was moving the ball around.
This time slap through extra cover, beats the mid-off fielder, and that's going to go all the way for 4. Richard Berrington is taking control of this game.
What a shot. Cracker of a shot. And all along the carpet, so no chance for the fielders there. Just getting to the pitch of the ball, giving him ample room to free his arms through the covers. Beautifully played. One of the shots of the day for me.
Stepped away from the stumps, created that angle through extra cover and blazed it through. Once you beat that mid-off down this steep incline towards the square boundaries, you'll definitely pick up some runs. So 29 of 24. He still has plenty of overs to bat, so he can certainly cash in here. Play a long knock, a deep knock here for Scotland, who badly requires somebody to stand up and be counted. This time, work towards mid-wicket. They're pushing for 2. They're going for it. Chance for a run out. Oh, but couldn't collect there, Ruben Trumpelman. 2 runs. Good running.
And I think he was home. He was quickly on to that second run. Since the time he had hit it with soft hands, he knew that it was going to go for a 2. And that's good cricket coming in from the experienced Bennington. He hit a 4 and quickly was looking for another run there. So good batting here by Bennington.
Indeed, he's trying to shift the momentum of the game. It's been all Namibia so far. But just a flurry of boundaries. And if Craig Wallace could just have stuck around for a couple more overs, I think the complexion would have changed completely towards Scotland. Back of a hand, slower delivery. This time hit towards deep fine leg. Who's in the circle and is going for 4.
What a shot there coming in from Bennington, waiting on that delivery, let it come to him, playing it very late into the gap, all along the carpet, no risks involved, and the result is 4. Brilliant shot again.
Just trying too many things there, Ruben Trumpelman. Back of a hand, slower ball coming around the wicket. It's not easy to control at the best of times. And out of nowhere, 10 runs have been scored off the over. And that would help Dylan Budge settle in as well, building a partnership. Slower ball this time on the stumps. Good fielding of his own bowling. Some relief for Namibia.
Well, they've picked up the wickets, but they haven't been able to stop the flow of runs in the last 5 overs particularly. 42 runs have come for the loss of a wicket at 8.39 runs an over. So that's looking good.
Indeed, just shows that it's a pretty decent batting track. This time another hard drive towards extra cover. They'll scurry through for a single. 11 runs off that Ruben Trumpelman over. 13 overs gone. Scotland are 81 for 4.
The last 3 overs have been very expensive for Namibia. They've picked up a wicket in these last 3 overs. But we saw a 15-run over, then an 8-run over with a wicket there. And now 11 runs off this over as well. So runs have started to flow in. And this is what I was talking about when we were talking about the pitch up front. If you apply yourselves, there are runs in this wicket that you can exploit.
31 dot deliveries played there by Scotland. That's due to that collapse up top in the batting power play. They've had to dig in for a while because they certainly don't play so many dots when their top order with the likes of Kyle Kudzer and George Munsey gets set. But the game is in a very interesting passage right now. 7 overs remaining. They would like to double that score they have, get to about 140, 150. 160 would be a brilliant score. But to do that, somebody will need to play the innings of their life.
Absolutely. And I think I will put my monies on Bennington here because he looks the said batsman. He has all the shots in the book. And the way he's middling the ball, that looks really, really good for him.
So the captain of Namibia, Merwe Erasmus, making some moves there, playing his most important chess piece, David Wiese, coming back into the attack. Still has 3 overs in his kitty, went for 15 in his initial one, but he's extremely good at those slower deliveries, bowling them on a length. He gets a lot of wickets caught on those boundaries. We've seen that time and again for Sussex, for Lahore Qalandars, and even in the Caribbean Premier League. Took a 5 for recently there. So let's see if he can execute in these conditions.
Absolutely. And also he can surprise you with that extra bounce, extra pace as well. So a good bowler to have in your repertoire.
Spread field for Wiese. Edged, and immediately he takes the wicket. Just as we said, they had to play their most important chess piece, Dylan Budge. Another golden duck for Scotland.
Well, when runs come and put Namibia on the back foot, someone steps up and picks up a wicket. And that is why Scotland hasn't really got going in this particular game. Brilliant wicket to have. Brilliant start once again for the second spell for David Wiese. This is what was required for Namibia here.
Just a nothing shot in the end, flirting at that ball. Needed to play it with a lot more conviction. And once again, as Faizan has mentioned, when Scotland were looking to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, Namibia hit back. It's been a fantastic battle. The pendulum has swung from Namibia back to Scotland and now towards Namibia again. And they've lost 5 wickets, still quite a few overs to bat, Faizan.
And that is the beauty of T20 cricket, isn't it, Ahmed? That, you know, you think you're in and a couple of good overs can change the game around with the bat or with the ball as well. And here, in the last 3 overs, I mentioned the last over went for 11, before that 8, and then before that 15. So runs had started to flow in, a wicket had gone down. Now David Visa had different plans altogether. And I think he's the right man to come in and bowl in the middle overs rather than up top.
Indeed, that suits his bowling style. He likes to bowl with the spread field. He's accurate with how to target his lines and lengths as per his field. Michael Leask coming into the side. A strike rate of 123 is quite useful. 15 sixes in his T20I career so far. So he can wield the long handle and hit those maximums.
Well, he needs to be sensible about it right now, because he needs to rotate the strike and get Richard Berrington onto the strike, who's looking really good in the last few overs that we've seen of him. After that consolidation phase, he's been doing good. Look at that ball. Beautiful ball outside the off stump.
This time, oh, quick single attempted here. Could this be a run out? Direct hit from Zayn Green. But the Namibian body language not looking that hyped. I think they've just about made it. Leg umpire in action.
Well, yeah, that was a quick run, and I think it was not required again, because as you mentioned, Emma, there are a lot of overs in this match remaining, and Richard Berrington is the man who needs to be there till the last ball is bowled now for his team to get a score which they can defend on this wicket that is looking pretty decent. There are no demons in the wicket, although it was sticking just a little bit because of ample moisture, I believe, in the first 6 overs, but after that it's looking pretty smooth. It's coming onto the bat as well, as Berrington himself is now on 35 of just 28 deliveries, even after that consolidation phase coming in from Scotland. 81 for 5 now.
Short and wide, cracked away behind, backward point that has screamed away for 4. Richard Berrington is in the form of his life.
He seems like batting on a different wicket altogether from all the other batters here. Everything is coming from the middle of the bat, and that is why it is very important to run well between the wicket and get the strike as much as possible, because he is looking dangerous. Unstoppable is the word for him right now.
Fantastic shot there. Oh, once again, extra bounce. He tried that same shot, but the ball was a lot straighter. And very, very lucky to still be there. That could have easily been an outside edge to the keeper, Zayn Green.
Feet not moving well there for Richard Berrington, just trying to transfer the weight on the back foot and playing it towards back foot point for a single or maybe a 2, which was never there. 85 for 5, 13.4 overs gone, 39 of 30. He's looking good, Berrington.
This time sliced away straight to the backward point this time, but they will get a single. That was the shot he was trying to execute on the previous delivery. And David Visa, he has been hammered a bit, 26 runs. He's into his 3rd over. I'm not enjoying that length he's bowling. It's a bit too short. He needs to pitch the ball up there and use those brilliant off-cutters he has. But Michael Leask got off the strike thanks to a good call from Richard Berrington. Could have been touch and go there. Oh, once again trying to cut that straight edge delivery. 14 overs gone. Scotland are 86 for 5.
Good over coming in from David Visa after that first disastrous over. 16 runs were taken off that over. 15 off the bat. 1 leg by when he bowled the 2nd over of the innings. And now coming back, giving away a 4, all right. But 6 runs from the over and a couple of chances created. I would take it.
Right then, 6 overs remaining, 86 for 5. My co-commentator Faizan has suggested get that score up to 130, 135. But somebody needs to support Richard Berrington here, who's batting beautifully. He's moved into the 40s. And Johannes Smith, the left arm fast bowler, slash all-rounder back into the attack.
Berrington is the main man right now. Richard Berrington on strike, 40 of 31, as Johannes Smith is going to bowl. He's the wicket taker. Has given away just 2 runs in the first 2 overs that he bowled.
Very interesting field here. Short third man in the circle and a deep backward point. And you can see why Richard Berrington loves to play that square cut. So interesting tactics here from Namibia.
Yeah, good bit of bowling. Good comeback from the bowler there as well. Bowling his second spell, Smith. Was almost unplayable in the first spell. Current run rate of 6.14 runs per over. Not good enough. You have to reach that 135 mark to get your bowler something to defend on this wicket. 87 for 5 now.
Yes, indeed, he bats very well in the middle order as well. Johannes Smith. This time trying to pull it away. Michael Lees wasn't quite there. So I think the best idea for him right now is just rotate the strike. Let Richard Berrington do the heavy lifting.
Absolutely. That's the least Lees has to do. He has to rotate the strike, get the informed batter on strike, the experienced batter on strike. Richard Berrington, and he is looking absolutely at a different level altogether from all the other Scottish batters that we have seen today.
My co-commentator is full of puns this morning. I wonder what he had for breakfast. This time pulled away towards square leg, but there's a sweeper posted out there. So once again, just when Scotland were looking to counter-attack, losing wickets, David Wiese immediately taking a wicket in his second spell. Richard Berrington though, 2 back-to-back excellent innings here in the middle order.
Well, full of pun, because I'm having a lot of fun with you. Yeah.
My goodness.
Ahmed.
My goodness.
88 for 5.
This is of course the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash. Oh, this time trying to sweep that away from outside off against the medium pacer. Richard Berrington is truly feeling it today, trying all sorts of shots. And flung his bat away.
There's a lot of moisture in the air. Maybe his gloves are a little wet. Just couldn't get the grip right on that delivery. The idea was right to go across the line on that delivery.
Take a look at that. Extremely confident there. I think Johannes Smith will not be happy with that shot, but you are absolutely spot on. He's called for a change of gloves. And let's see if it works for him.
Michael Lees is on the striking end now, as a single was taken on that delivery. Without the bat, he ran towards the non-striker's end. A single taken.
Johannes Smith continuing, only 5 runs off his bowling. Worked away towards mid-wicket. Only a single, they're pushing for 2. No, they'll just stick to 1. Don't want to challenge David Wiese's arm.
A very good over coming in from the bowler Smith once again. He had given away 2 runs in the first 2 overs that he had bowled. Coming back for his third, he's picked up a wicket as well. Brilliant bowling. He has stopped the flow of runs that was coming in easily from Richard's bat.
Indeed, took the big wicket of Henry Muncy, who was looking very good, striking some boundaries. Knows his role in the side. Cracked away this time towards the cover fielder. They'll pick up a single. 15 overs gone. Scotland are 91 for 5. And to take you to the end of the innings, it's going to be Abdur Rahman Tariq and Shoaib Ahmed.
Oh, better. Coming over. Left arm over. Get some bowling change. Coming left arm over. Hustle, boys! Go, boys! Go, boys!
Thank you, Ahmed and Faizan.
Just one. Yeah, absolutely. Go, Jan.
Quick single taken there by Michael Leask. 92 for 5 in 15.1 overs.
Yes, Scotland 92 for 5, 15.1 overs. A good delivery coming in from Freiling, who's been very economical. This time a slower bouncer, rolling his wrists and fingers with the delivery. Surprising Michael. Played a little too early on that occasion. And the ball passing him after he swung the bat. Good start for the over. This time quicker, short delivery coming in from Freiling. This has been played towards the long on for a single. In fact, they've taken two. And this is good running. So the score right now, Abdur Rahman, is 96. Or rather 94. What do you think they will go to by the end of the 20th?
Well, with that wicket falling, that projected score must be going down even more. 94 for 6 now, Scotland. And Shoaib, well, to answer your question, I was thinking they would be looking at that 45-50 run mark. But that was a very, very good catch. He was well inside the boundary. That was a total mishit by Michael Leask. And with Richard Berrington still at the crease, if he can play a cameo the way Basil Hamid played yesterday, where the UAE took 45 runs in the last 3 overs, they could be looking at that 140, 150 mark. But Namibia, I think, are hoping and will aim to get them out within that 120 mark.
Yes, just at the right time, there is a wicket that has fallen for Scotland. It was Michael Leask, who's out after scoring 5 of 8. And Freiling has finally managed to get a wicket. That was a low full toss, aiming for that Yorker delivery. Did not time it too well. Came from the bottom of the bat and found the fielder at mid-wicket. So a good wicket. Scotland in some trouble again. 94 for 6 now after 15.4 overs.
With that low full toss, that dipping full toss, very difficult to get away. Not easy to get bat on ball when the ball is just dipping towards your feet. Bottom of the bat for Michael Leask. Goes safely into the hands of the fielder. Lot of trouble now. They have to bat out the full 20 overs at least. New batsman in Watt. And they'll know that if they can get to that 125, 130 mark at least, it'll be a fighting total against Namibia.
Freiling to continue, another slower bouncer coming in. He is a good T20 bowler. I think he's a specialist. He knows how to bowl and has a very sound cricketing brain. Thinks before he bowls and knows which areas to target and mixes the deliveries really well. And that is a good trait to have a Dwayne Bravo kind of a bowler. Very, very effective.
And Shoaib is no mug with the bat as well. He hit those big sixes. The ideal T20 player, medium pacer who can bowl with the new ball, bowl in the death, and then score some runs.
Another good delivery. Berrington completely missing it. Freiling has got a successful over for himself and Namibia. 16 overs gone and the score is 96 for 6 Scotland. So Namibia versus Scotland, the T20 International live from ICC Academy ground in Dubai, and Scotland have never really got into the game. They have kept losing wickets at regular intervals, and that has been a concern in this innings for Scotland. While on the other hand, Namibia will feel that they've got a game in their hands. We were expecting a total of 140, 150, but that definitely looks very difficult from here on.
And Shoaib, one of the things that Namibia has done really well is every time Scotland has looked like getting away with the game, they've pulled it back. They have conceded a couple of overs that have gone for a few runs, but then they've pulled back with a wicket or a follow-up over going for just 2 or 3 runs. So a nice fight between the two teams.
Yes, a very nice fight, and that is what we were expecting from these two teams. Meanwhile, Watt will get off the mark with that single. It's Ruben Birkenstock, who is another left-handed bowler. So a lot of left-handed bowlers in the Namibian squad, and also a few in the Scotland squad as well.
Left-handed fast bowlers are the flavor of the year. We've seen quite a few of them playing in all the different tournaments going on. Richard Berrington, on the other hand, 46 of just 37 deliveries.
Yes, he's playing a very good knock here for Scotland. Meanwhile, this won't go all the way. We'll get a couple of more runs. Good feeling in the deep. But yes, Richard has been the major contributor in that Scottish batting scorecard. So out of the 99, 48, almost half, have been scored by that one man on your screen right now. Stepping down the ground, up in the air, there is a fielder who was not at the boundary, not on the 30-yard circle. So this is good field placement as well. Lucky on that occasion, Richard Berrington, not finding that fielder.
And clear plans. You can have a look at that field placing. They've got the deep point and deep cover for Richard Berrington. Third man is in the circle. So they definitely have plans against the batsman. That's good to see. Especially when the bowler executes to the plan. Very important for the captain. With the left-hander on strike now, completely different field placing.
Pitching. That is a beautiful shot. Absolutely hammered that right from the middle of the bat. The sound of the bat says it all. Played it in the mid-wicket region, and that's always going to be 4.
Well, that was poor bowling with the mid-on in the circle. Bowling short, giving him a lot of time to go over that fielder. So good looking shot there by Watt. Now they're making that adjustment with fine leg coming into the circle and long on going back.
Again played and pulled towards the mid-wicket and a wide of the long on fielder that was in the gap, so they will get another 2 runs. This is good batting from Watt. From whatever we've seen of him, he's middled everything and he's placing the ball in the gap. So that is good batting coming in from Watt.
Yeah, he's a big unit. Hits the ball real hard. He's not middled. Both those shots, they've gone racing to the boundary. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when he actually hits the ball from the middle of the bat.
Pressure on Ruben Birkenstock. In fact, it's Ruben Truppelman. Apologies. Truppelman has been bowling really well. A good spell for Ruben. 4 overs, 23 runs, and has taken 2 wickets. A successful outing for Ruben. 17 overs gone, 106 for 6.
Have a look at that bowling card. As you mentioned, Ruben Truppelman, 4 overs, 23 runs, 2 wickets. David Visa, surprisingly expensive, 3 overs, 26. Johan Smith and Jan Freiling right there in the middle. 3 over 7 runs, 1 wicket. 3 over 17, 1 wicket in the spinner. Bernard Scholz, 3 over 16, 1 wicket. Carl Birkenstock going for 15, and that was where the momentum was shifting just a little bit before Namibia has pulled it back. They've given away a couple of overs of 15, 16 runs plus. Otherwise, the score would have been even lower than 106 at the moment. But with 3 overs to go, Scotland will be looking at that 130 mark at least, Shoaib, to make a fight of this game.
Of course, they need to get to that 130, 135 in the next 3 overs to get a decent score on board. Because as we discussed earlier, this pitch is not going to get any slower. In fact, it is going to get a little bit better from whatever we've seen in the previous games. So they need runs on the board, Scotland, for their bowlers to try and put pressure and make a game out of it. Meanwhile, it's Freiling, who has started his 4th over, given away 18 runs and taken a wicket.
Yes, and with that single, Richard Berrington getting to a well-deserved half-century of just 40 deliveries, 107 for Scotland, and 50 of them have come from Richard's bat. Brilliant knock in the middle, continuing his good form from yesterday where he scored a very crucial 30-odd runs against the PNG.
Yes, Richard Berrington has been the man of the moment for Scotland. 107 is the score on the board. 50 for him. 4 fours and a 6s and a 6. A strike rate of 125. Shuffle there from Watt, played towards the fine leg. The fielder is inside the circle. A direct hit would have been trouble, but no. It's gone towards the long on, and that will give them an opportunity for another run, and they will take that. So 2 runs on that shot from Watt.
That was very interesting batting from Watt. Shuffles across, trying to go over that short fine leg fielder, but unfortunately finds him. And that shy at the non-striker end, there was nobody backing up. So once it had crossed the stumps, it was an easy 2 on the overthrow. Again, shuffles across, plays it towards the mid-wicket fielder. Bard getting underneath it. So Watt's little cameo comes to an end. He's trying to get that scoring moving, but unfortunately finds the fielder. And that man, Jan Freiling, again a wicket in the death overs.
Yes, he has been absolutely on the money. Freiling in this game today has bowled the right length, has used his variations to the fullest, and that is why Watt, who was playing a good knock, looked really good, has to walk back. A 4 in that 9. Score for Scotland is 109 for 7 now.
Shoaib, the one thing I really liked about that particular wicket from Freiling was, even though Watt moved across almost at that wide tram line, instead of trying to go for the base of the stumps or try something extra, he followed him and got that ball to hit the bat, eventually landing in the hands of a fielder. Brilliant bowling in the death by Jan Freiling.
That's right, this is good death bowling. Safyan Mohammed is the new man. 30 years of age, 21 matches for him. This is his 21st. 134 runs.
Well, he's known for his bowling, his fast bowling more than his batting. I'm sure he must not have thought he would be batting in the 18th over. Another easy single taken there.
This time Freiling bowls it on the pads, looking for 2, but won't get them. So 1 run added to the total.
Nelson on the board, 17.5 overs, 111 now Scotland. They've got Richard Berrington on strike. And Jan Freiling must be thinking, last ball of the spell, if he can get Richard Berrington out, Scotland might just fold for a less than 120 runs.
Slower delivery has been played into the gap between the mid-wicket and square leg. Run chase for the fielder. Good fielding effort. I think it is Yafrans, the fielder there. And a brilliant effort there, making sure the ball stays inside the play area. 18 overs gone, Scotland 113 for 7.
Good cricket overall at the last ball of that Freiling spell. Excellent fielding by Yafrans, running in from square leg and stopping that ball from going over the boundary rope. And that man, Jan Freiling, 24 runs given in his 4 overs, taking 2 wickets. Has been absolutely magnificent with the ball, especially in the death overs. That's the scorecard. Henry Muncie was looking really good, 17 of 18. Kyle Coates, Matthew Cross falling on consecutive deliveries, and then Richard Berrington in at 4, 53 of 42 deliveries. Not a lot to write home after that. And Sufyan Sharif, well, he just has to give support to Richard Berrington, make sure he faces as many of those last 12 deliveries of this first innings.
Yes, it is important for Scotland that Richard Berrington stays on the striking end as much as possible in order for Scotland to get into that 130 zone. It's not going to be easy, I tell you, especially against Namibian bowlers who are bowling really well, keeping tight lines. This time around the wicket, Smith, another left-handed bowler. So 3 left-arm seamers in that Namibian bowling lineup. There is Trumpelman, Freiling and Smith.
And then if you add Bernard Scholz, the left-arm spinner, a lot of those balls coming in from that over-the-wicket angle from the left-hander. But this time he's coming around the wicket.
Outside off, middle, nicely. Has it gone all the way? No! What a great effort that is. Almost into the hands. We'll have to see that from the other angle, but brilliant effort. Let's check that. First of all, a good delivery outside off, played from the middle of the bat. A jumping effort and just missing it. Good shot, effective. Again, Berrington has hit a beautiful 6 straight down the ground. This time it's a shuffle there on the onside. Mid-wicket will clean that, just a single.
But that's 6, very good looking shot that. And yes, Ahmed, even I was a bit excited. I thought he had pulled off a magnificent one-hander, but just going over his head. So good start to this over so far. 8 runs off it. And again, Sufyan Sharif would want to get off strike quickly as possible.
Yes, Sufyan, they're making sure that he doesn't waste too many deliveries, doesn't go for a flashy shot, just take a single and give the strike back to Richard Berrington, who's playing a very handy knock here. 60 of 44 for him. And he has, as you rightly said, performed with the bat in the previous game against Papua New Guinea. And continuing that form into this game. That's what champion players do. And Richard has done that today. Again, outside off delivery. This time played straight down the ground. We'll get a single.
Well, at this stage, Richard Berrington should just go to Sufyan Sharif and let him know that this is the last ball of the 19th over. He's got the license. If he can get a boundary here, 2 things will happen. One, Richard Berrington will be on strike for the last over, and they'll have that extra boundary in the over. Already 10 runs off it. See, 19, last ball of the 19th over.
This is a good ball outside off Yorker length. This has been played well as well from Sharif. And again, the Superman from Namibia, Yafrans, has done it for his team. Saved a certain boundary and put pressure back on Scotland. So you have to really play well clear the boundaries because these fielders are not giving you anything.
Yes, the ground fielding is really, really good. Very quick to cover that turf, and France stops the ball from going over the rope. Scotland gets 2. Richard Berrington clearly now suffering in that heat. He's down on his haunches, the towel around his head, getting some fluids in. And the umpire, Shiju Sam, he's very strict about these things. We've played under his umpiring in the domestic cricket circuit, and he is very, very strict about timing. So even though there's Scotland playing, he's right on their head like a headmaster, telling them, you guys, this is the last over. Let us finish this innings quickly.
Yes, of course, they are considerate whenever and wherever possible. And it's the summer heat of the UAE. They know how these conditions are more than anyone else. And absolutely right. It's the last over. They need to get it done and dusted. 19 overs gone, 125 for 7. Scotland reaching that 130. It is within their reach. Can they get to 140? 15 needed in the last 6 to get to that 140 run mark. Not going to be easy because it's going to be the star for Namibia, David Wiese. And he strikes, gets his wicket, gets his revenge, so to say. You are not going to get away when David is bowling the way he is.
Well, a pinpoint Yorker, somebody who's settled in at 60 not out, to get that delivery, just ricochets off his boot into the stumps, but very difficult to get away. And David Wiese strikes, but what an amazing knock by Richard Berrington in this heat. 60 runs of 40 deliveries, the mainstay of the middle order for Scotland. 125 for 8 now. And Namibia has pulled this back very nicely indeed, especially David Wiese, who went for a lot of runs in his first over.
That's right. We saw in the previous over, Berrington was absolutely exhausted, and then not getting that break in the middle over, in the gap between the 19th and the 20th. They were looking to get a few drinks, but as you rightly said, now he's absolutely exhausted and playing a false shot, giving away his wicket. Meanwhile, a fresh pair of hands. Davy has joined the party, and he's welcomed Wiese with a straight hit over the fast bowler into the side screen for a big 6.
Well, Shoaib, you have to have a look at that shot again. That's not a shot of a number 10, that's a shot of a top order batsman. Beautiful hit that, straight down the ground.
Nicely bowled again from David. This time a slower delivery played towards the mid-wicket, running for 2. And a good throw there. The umpire says no, he's safe. And that's really good running because Sharif had to put in the hard yards to get into the crease in the right time.
Well, again, brilliant umpiring there by Iftikhar. Have a look at that position. He's right in the line of that run out. So clearly not out, and a good 2 taken by Davy.
This one played up and over the point fielder and will go all the way for another 4. So some runs coming in from the bat of Davy. And that is absolutely magical because these are vital runs. These could be the difference between a win and a loss. And Davy has absolutely done it for his team on that occasion.
Well, sure, my question then is, where has he been? Look at those 2 shots. That first boundary straight down the ground. This one over the point fielder. He looks like a very capable batsman, Davy.
Absolutely spot on. You and David as well, because he's bowled that right into the block hole. No chance whatsoever for Davy. Played straight down the ground, but will get a single.
Well, I think he's realized that Davy is no mug with the bat. He's not your typical number 10.
Well, some fitness freaks running in that heat. Last ball of the over, played straight down to covers. will just be a single. So that's what it is. Scotland not reaching that 140 mark, but definitely have a decent score on the board thanks to that man who's running on the screens. Some late fireworks coming in from the bat of Davy, and they've managed 137.
137 now, Scotland, the end of the 20th over. Davy giving them that little kick right at the end, 11 not out. And very important now for Scotland.
Well, that's the highlights of the innings so far. The first innings. And really some good shots, but overall it was just the Namibian bowlers all over the Scottish batters, especially in the first 10 overs. That was a chip shot straight to the short cover fielder, and then the wickets kept falling at regular intervals. A cluster of wickets for Scotland. That was a beautiful shot there coming in from the bat.
This time smashed over
Some
cow
big
corner
hits.
all the way for... This time launched down the ground towards that long off fielder, but he will... This time powered down the ground once again. Reverse sweep, top edge in the air, short third man, take... This time slap through extra cover, beats the mid-off fielder, and that's going... Back of a hand, slower delivery, this time hit towards deep fine leg, who's in the circle, and spread field for Weezer. Edged and immediately...
Well, that's the summary of the Scotland batting. Henry Muncie 17 of 18 deliveries. Kyle Coetzer, Matthew Cross falling on consecutive deliveries. Richard Berrington then right in the middle, 61 of just 46 deliveries. Craig Wallace 23. And then Joshua Davy right at the end, 11 crucial runs in that last over. Scotland finishing their innings at 137 for 8 in their allotted 20 overs.
And that's how the batting card looks for Namibia in this T20 international against Scotland. They all were very, very successful except for Birkenstock, who was a little expensive. He gave away 15 runs. The pick of the bowlers was Ruben Trumpelman, 4 overs, 23 runs and 2 wickets. 2 wickets for David Wiese as well. 4 overs, 38 is what he conceded. Smith getting a wicket, and Freiling again had a great outing today for Namibia. 4 overs, 24 runs, and Kay also took 2 wickets. So that is the score right now. 137 is what Scotland have managed. This is the target that is needed, Abdur Rahman, and it is a kind of tricky target.
Yet, I think when they were coming into bat, Scotland would have been looking at that 145, 150 mark maybe. So 138, maybe just below par. We'll come back after the break to see how Namibia get along, chasing 138 runs in this UAE Summer T20 Bash, powered by Dafa News.
Right then, welcome back to the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash 2021. It's match day 4 here at the ICC Academy in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. News from the center is that Namibia had elected to bowl first today against Scotland, and they have a chase of 138. The Scottish at one stage were reeling at 21 for 3, but thanks to a brilliant 50 by Richard Barrington, have posted a moderately respectable total. And joining me in the comm box is Faizan Khan. Faizan, what do you think? 138 a target, defendable or a few runs short?
Well, after 21 for 3, I think it's a good total that they've reached, and they have just one man to thank, and that is Richard Barrington, 61 of 46 deliveries. He made sure that they get a respectable total on board, although I believe they are about 15 runs short here.
Interesting to see the change in gear here for Namibia when they're coming out to bat. It's Zane Green, the wicketkeeper batter, left hand at the striking end, I believe. Yes, he is. And opening alongside him will be Stephen Bard. There he is on screen. Played a pretty decent hand against the UAE. Zane Green unfortunately got caught at square leg for a low score, so he'll be looking to make amends, Faizan.
Absolutely. I think it's, again, very, very important. The first 6 overs, you've seen the conditions now. You know how it is going to behave in the first few overs. I believe it's going to swing just a little bit, just as we saw in the early morning as well. Not as much, possibly. First ball on the way here.
Josh Davey then taking the new ball for the Scottish and hitting the bat hard there. Really made a nice thump right in the middle of the willow.
Yeah, a good ball to start with. Back of the length, nicely bowled, good bounce as well, right behind the ball there. Bard, and nicely played in the end. They don't need to do anything flashy here, Ahmed. They need to play as per the merit of the ball. Slow and steady is the name of the game here.
Absolutely. If they bat 120 deliveries, they will win this game. Edged towards the first slip and just flashed past him. Fingertip stuff there. That could have been the early breakthrough that the Scots needed. Brilliant effort though.
Yeah, what a good delivery coming in from the bowler Davey, and a good effort in the slip as well. Diving, stretching, and it was pretty difficult. It was a very difficult chance. It was very difficult for a second slip had he been in the place as well. Got both hands to it, more importantly. Fantastic effort, Superman effort coming in from the fielder there at first slip.
I believe it's Henry Muncie himself. Yep, manning that first slip cordon. Zane Green then. Age 24, very promising young batter. Early days just yet in his career. Down the leg side this time. Given as a wide. But that was the kind of early impetus that Scotland required. An early wicket would have given them a lot of hope and a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. It was a half chance there for Scotland. And sometimes these balls grab into the hand as well. It was just a little too far, got fingertips to it. Had it been in the palm, possibly would have grabbed it.
Josh Davey looking to exploit that back of a length area on this pitch. Bowled him right through the gate. Zane Green has been cleaned up for a knot.
It's a red signal for Zane Green there to go back to the pavilion here. Namibia losing their first wicket very, very quickly. So Scotland getting that impetus that you were talking about, Ahmed. Fantastic start for them.
Absolute beauty coming in with the arm. Bit of nip off the surface as well. And right through the gate. Look at that. An absolute peach. Clipping the bails.
Brilliant ball. Back of the length. Everything right about that particular ball. Coming in sharply as well. Not getting in line. There was a distance between the bat and the pad. And it went right through. Absolutely amazing for the bowler to see this getting through the defenses.
Just couldn't get going today then. And it's going to be Craig Williams coming out to bat. Played a very good hand of 50 against the UAE in the first game of the tournament. He's another key player for them in the top order.
We have seen batters in the past use other batters' bats. This is the first time possibly I've seen a batter using the helmet from the batter who's gone back.
Indeed. Some quirky stuff there from Namibia.
Superstitions, do you think?
Very well could be, Faizan. We've seen all sorts of cricketers in the past have very strange superstitions. Steve Waugh with that red rag of his. I hope he'd washed it, because the number of matches he played in international cricket, it would be quite funky in the end. And they've made a change in the batting order. This is very, very interesting. Ruben Trumpelman, the left-hand tall seam bowler, right-hand batter, has been sent up the order. So some innovative tactics from Merwe Erasmus.
I hope this innovation works for them. Next ball, right up.
Flicked away, leg glance past the keeper, and that's going to run away for 4 over the fence. And this might go right out of the ICC Academy. Nice shot for 4.
Well, nicely played. A poor ball though, coming in from the bowler Davy after that wicket-taking delivery. Down the leg side, easy pickings for the batter there. Just had to put bat to ball and getting the desired result as well.
6 for 1 then after 4 deliveries. Josh Davy picking up that early wicket. But then straying down the leg side and rightly put away. Had a tough go against PNG, was struggling in the extreme heat here at the ICC Academy, but responded much better today. Back of length this time, worked away to the square leg fielder. So nicely tucked away for a single.
7 runs on the board, 1 wicket down here in Namibia. They need to build up a partnership. They needn't do what the Scottish batters were doing in the first 6 overs. You have to have wickets in hand to chase down any target whatsoever. And 138 is a decent total. It's not a bad total at all, especially in the heat. It becomes all the more difficult for the batters to bat for a longer time.
Solidly behind that is Stephen Bard. So an entertaining over to open the run chase. 7 for 1 after the first over, Namibia.
Good start for Josh Davy there. Talking about superstitions once again, you were mentioning Steve Waugh. Thankfully for him, whether he watched it or not, nobody was supposed to touch him.
Absolutely, and a lot of cricketers like to wear their pads in a certain way, put on their thigh pad in a certain way. If the match is going well, they don't want to change their position in the locker room. Even if they're sitting in the loo, they'll say stay in there until this partnership is going on.
And that is exactly what happened in the 2011 World Cup, where everyone was told to stay put in the finals when India was batting. And there's a brief description of that in Sachin Tendulkar's book as well. It's brilliant how superstitions work for batters and bowlers, especially the way they play and the way they do those tedious things day in, day out on the field.
Sufyan Sharif then taking the new ball from the other end for Team Scotland. He's been included in the side. Big unit, big tall lumbering fella. And has a bit of pace as well. Lovely round arm action. And good to see a slip in place for him.
That's the right way to go. One criticism we had about UAE not applying those slips in the first few overs, not applying enough pressure. You don't have enough runs on board. It's not like you're defending 190 and you can afford a few runs going away from the slip cotton. You're defending 137. It's very important to pick up wickets up early.
A brilliant T20I record for him. Oh, beauty, sheer pace and some movement off the deck from Sufyan Sharif. Very lucky to still be there. That was an absolute Jaffa.
Ball of the day till now. We haven't seen anything going like that. Coming in with the arm and then leaving the batter just at the right moment. And a nothing shot coming in from the batsman, squaring him up completely. Brilliant ball.
There's a saying, it was just too good to hit. It was that kind of a delivery. Down the ground, this time launched in the air, over mid-on. Classy shot all the way for 4.
So Trampelman was trampling upon the batters in the first innings with the ball and now doing the same thing with the bat in hand here. Promoted up the order. A surprise move coming in from Namibia, working for them. Good shot. Going down the wicket. Playing for that swing, covering the line of the ball and going straight down the ground with a very good flourish from the bat.
Oh, this time right on middle and leg and solidly behind that. So Sufyan Sharif, he's really putting some gas on the ball there. It's hitting the bat very hard and has some decent pace. Must be bowling at least in the mid 130s. Bending his back in oppressive conditions. He does have 53 wickets to his name and just 34 T20Is before this. So you can see he's an attacking option, a pure wicket taker. Oh, inside edge towards square leg. They'll scurry through for a single, and I think Ruben will be quite pleased to get off strike.
Well, a good ball once again, this time coming in with the angle. So seems like his natural angle is bowling in into the right-handers, but he can move it just a little bit away from the batter as well, as we saw on that first ball that was faced by Ruben. Bard is going to be on strike now. 1 of 3 deliveries. Namibia have lost their first wicket in the first over already. 12 for 1 after 1.5. Good start for Sharif.
Yes, he's looked very impressive. I've enjoyed his attacking length. He's moving the ball around as well. Oh, bit of a leading edge there. Quick single taken. Chance for a run out, but no, he's had a shy at the wrong end. So, eventful over there. Still has 1 delivery remaining, does he? Nope, it's an over. 12 for 1 after 2.
Well, again, good start from Sharif. Hitting the right lens, moving it just a little bit as well, away from the batter, into the batter. And this might just happen for a couple of overs. So we have a lot of broadcasters and streaming partners. It's on live on Sony 6 in the subcontinent, Quick Live in the UAE, Free Sport in the UK, and our streaming partners youtube.com/sportseye, Sony Live and Switch TV. You can watch it ball by ball on all these channels and partners wherever you are in the world right now. And we are live from the ICC Cricket Academy in Dubai in these hot conditions for the players. Back live. The next ball down the leg side. This one is flicked away from the inside half of the bat, and this one would reach the fence in a jiffy. 4 more for Namibia.
Nicely executed there once again. Stephen Bard. He's another one of the main players. Once you beat that fine leg fielder in the circle, it's the big unit Sufyan Sharif after it. But that was always running away down the hill.
Absolutely. Spot on, Ahmed. Because the slope is so inclined that if it's nicely timed, it's very difficult to stop it. Chasing after it, no point whatsoever. There are changes in the field being made right now. A couple of changes, bringing one man into the circle in the mid-wicket region, I believe. Yes.
Yes, the slip fielder has moved out. This time on the leg side once again. Easy runs. So Josh Davey needs to find that 4th stump line outside off. Can't bowl it too straight or they're going to flick you away all day.
Absolutely. You need to keep it around that off-stump channel and that off-stump line, which has been very difficult for the batters throughout the day that we've seen today. So I think that would be the right line if you're the bowler with the ball in hand to bowl and make the batter play.
This time edged away, but there's nobody in the slip coordinate. Third man will have to move around swiftly, and he does just that. Craig Wallace down there. Good throw to the keeper. But I do enjoy watching some, quality fast bowlers bowling some attacking lengths, going after the batters. And that's the approach Scotland need, in my opinion. These are, of course, our broadcast and streaming partners. You can watch it on Sony 6 all over the subcontinent. Crick Live here in the UAE. Free Sport in the UK. And if you want to stream the game, go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/sportseye. Oh, cutting him in half. Kept a bit low. That inside edge could have easily been chopped onto the stumps or gone to the keeper there, Faizan.
Absolutely. I would still keep a slip in place just for that one delivery that might just go away.
And there are our hard-working cameramen. It's pretty tough conditions out there, but they have been on the ball, so to speak. So Stephen Bard, the opener out there. Zane Green once again failing. Pulled away off the front foot, over square leg, all the way for 6. What a shot, Stephen Bard.
Well, certainly never barring the bowler there, Stephen Bard. Absolutely amazing shot. Let the ball come on to him, stayed in his crease, just rocking onto the back foot and transferring his weight and hitting it through the line of the ball. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Beautiful hands coming in from Bard as well. Quick hands.
That is easily the shot of the day so far. Just a swivel of the hips, quick hands through the ball, and it sailed away for half a dozen. My goodness. Josh Davey, that would have definitely dented his confidence. But an angry fast bowler is a dangerous fast bowler, Faizan.
Agreed. Said like a fast bowler there, Ahmed.
Slower delivery this time, nicely read and nicely tucked away towards the square leg sweeper. So productive over for Namibia. 3 overs gone, 26 for 1.
They lost the first wicket quickly in the first over, but now they are looking in the groove. I would say as far as runs per over go, this is a good start for Namibia. 26 for the loss of 1 after 3 overs. Both these batters are looking very aggressive, and we have already seen one innovative move coming in from Namibia, sending Trampleman up the order.
In fact, it was Craig Williams that was coming in, the regular number 3. He made a 50 in the previous game against UAE. Very fine knock. Merv Erasmus, the captain, and number 4. Johannes Smith, hard-hitting middle-order batter. Very useful all-rounder there. And, of course, David Wisa. How can you forget that name? So plenty of batting in this Namibia lineup. It's not a big score, so Scotland will need to keep chipping away here, Faizan.
Absolutely, they need to score runs. And since they are in an attacking mood, I would say keep on going like this. Hitting the bat balls to the boundary and just rotating the strike. That is the right way, the right mix of things for Namibia, chasing a smallish but a decent total.
Absolutely, that is the best way to approach a moderate run chase. We've seen so many times that teams, when they're chasing a low score, they want to anchor the innings, they want to bat the full overs. That's not the way to go about it. Wheel into the attack, short and wide down the leg side, and rightly given by the umpire, Bradley Wheel. Let's see if he has some wheels. Some puns from me as well.
Getting the feel of it now, Ahmed. Well, yeah, certainly. Would need a lot of wheels coming in from him, the Scottish side. They need wickets here.
Has 5 wickets to his name in T20I cricket so far. Another burgeoning young pacer for the Scots. Back of length, hitting the bat hard there. Good call there, straight to the fielder. And I do like their pace battery. They have some good guys in there. Sufyan Sharif, Josh Davey, and now we can see Bradley Wheel.
Absolutely. Seems like, bowlers who can bowl well within themselves. They know their strengths. Bowling just back of the length deliveries, getting the kick out of the wicket, trying to surprise the batter.
And we saw Christopher Soule in the previous game as well. He also had a bit of pace about him. Short ball, bottom edge, past the keeper who got a glove to it. Third man will have to get around. But it is going to trickle away for 4. So once again, a fortunate boundary for the Namibians.
I think the idea was right. Play it late because the third man was up inside the circle. He wanted to make use of that angle coming in from the bowler there. Just got it a little too fine, and that is why the wicketkeeper was in business there. Just got a glove to it and could not stop it from going to the boundary. Bard has his thinking cap on.
And that was a pretty tough fielding position set for Bradley Wheel. This time squeezed straight to the backward point. Once again, that short third man, as you can see, is in the circle. And if you're asking him to bowl back of a length, there's always a free boundary out there if he can glide it to third man. I know Stephen Bard played that fantastic hook shot over square leg for 6, but surely in the batting power play you need to back your fast bowler and have a third man back.
Spot on, Ahmed. I'm never a huge fan, never have been, never will be possibly, of a huge fan of bringing the third man in. We'll get back to this right after this delivery that's coming in from Bradley.
Once again, a shortish delivery squeezed away to square leg. They're pushing for 2 because the man is out there, and that's very, very well done. The chemistry and understanding between Stephen Bard and Craig Williams has been a treat to watch.
Well, talking about that third man, never been a fan of it because it's a defensive move. You take the liberty of bringing the third man in so that you can move someone in front of the ground outside. That is a defensive move. You need to bring in your close-in fielders if you want to come up and pick up a wicket. And third man is the most conducive region for any batter.
Nicely punched off the back foot, straight to cover. And indeed, it telegraphs your bowling plans that, okay, third man is in the circle. That means that the bowler most likely is not going to bowl back of a length. So I can, kind of pre-prepare, get on the front foot and try to attack the ball towards extra cover or down the ground.
And that is why it was a good shot coming in from Bard, because he knew exactly where the field was. Although it was not a bad ball, but still went for 4.
And this is us, a happy pairing in the com box. Oh, hitting the midriff there. And once again running down to that third man region, short third man in the circle. And it's going to cost them 4 runs.
Some coaching classes required there. Spot on, Ahmed. He brought up that plan of keeping the third man in the circle, especially when the bowler is bowling back of the length deliveries. You just can't do that. That's easy runs for Namibia. And now they are looking really impressive after 437 for 1.
Expensive over there from Bradley Wheel. Not a lot due to his own doing, to be quite frank. And Merve Erasmus, Johannes Smith, Jan Freiling, a lot of batting. David Wiese himself there. So Namibia are attacking this moderate run chase exactly in the pattern that they should. They're chasing the fast bowlers. They're attacking them back, not letting them bowl at them. And that has upset all of Kyle Kurtzer's bowling plans.
And that is a good idea. Because sometimes these totals are very, very tricky. You're like, I'm in control of the situation. I'm going to play it this way. And then you end up playing a lot of dot balls, which just never helps your team and your cause. So I think it is a very good move coming in to attack the bowling, hit the bad balls, playing on merit. I think it's a very good start, minus that wicket for Namibia.
There you can see our pavilion here at the ICC Academy. We're just to the right of that. Very picturesque surroundings for some top-level T20I cricket. World-class facilities here at the ICC Academy. Sufyan Sharif to continue here. Bowled a pretty decent first over. Fine leg and third man in the circle for him too. Back of a length and jamming it onto his pads. That's a good delivery. That's where you need to be.
Sufyan Sharif was bowling in the last over as well, where he made one go away from the batter. And at that particular moment, there was a slip in place. So that might just be his surprise delivery. His stock delivery comes in to the right-handed batter. And that is how it looks like from his action as well. Bowling those in-swingers, giving nothing away to the batter.
Nicely punched away. Good fielding at backward point. That is absolutely world class. Saved a certain boundary.
Absolutely. Good effort at backward point. It was a good shot. Back of the length delivery. Nicely played right off the meat of the bat. And good work at backward point. Wonderful stuff coming in.
I think it's Michael Leask out there who did that fantastic effort. Putting pressure on the batters. That's one way to do it, with attacking and positive fielding. This time once again bowled within the stumps. But I have another question here, Faizan. Why have they made him switch ends when he was swinging the ball away from the other side?
Spot on again. I don't know the thinking behind that approach, but possibly they wanted to stop him for 1 over and bring him. They had to bring him back again because there were runs scored in the last over. So they might have thought originally to bowl him for just 1 over and keep him for the next 3-4 overs and bring him back.
Fair point, very fair point, Faizan. Oh, big appeal. He's hit him in front, but it's perhaps sliding down leg. That's a good call by the umpire.
But a good ball, surprise delivery. He'd all been bowling seamer balls, and this time around it's a slower ball. The batsman not ready for it, the feet going nowhere, and just trying to play with his hands through the leg side, missing it completely. Would have been close had it been just a little bit towards the offside.
They might have identified a bit of a weak spot here for Craig Williams. He doesn't enjoy The ball coming into his body, into the pads. When it's outside off, he's going to crack it away every day and all night for 4.
What a shot once again coming in from Craig. Very nicely done, right from the middle of the bat. Head in position, balance, perfect, picture perfect shot there.
And I'll tell you who he reminds me of. You might have remembered a former England wicketkeeper, Matthew Pryor. Very, very similar setup. And he was glorious through the offside as well.
And Ahmed is going to remember all the prior players here.
Oh my God. Faizan, are you auditioning for a stand-up special on Netflix or something? Down the leg side this time. Very good take by the keeper. But once again, free runs for the Blue Eagles.
Well, not really. 42 for 1 here. 4.5 overs gone.
Well, we saw that Dave Chappelle recently launched his last Netflix special. You might get a deal with them as well. I'm sure they're watching on Sports Eye and on Sony 6.
Yeah, if they are, big hi going out to you. I have all the wares needed for a stand-up.
Once again, down the ground, nicely punched, but they'll take a quick single to mid-on. 5 overs gone. Namibia cruising at 43 for 1. And cruising into the com box are Shoaib Ahmed and Abdur Rahman Tariq.
Well, thank you, Ahmed and Faizan. Shoaib and I promise our listeners and viewers will try to keep the puns to as low as possible. There's absolutely no way we can match what Ahmed and Faizan have been talking about.
Yes, thank you, Ahmed Khwaja and Faizan, for that entertaining first spell of stand-up comedy. But yes, he has a funny bone, Faizan. Once he gets going, he absolutely goes going. And that is exactly what Craig has done here. Outside off, played into the gap, chase for the fielder. Has stopped it, but we will have to check in the replay. I'm sure the umpires will go up. No, they've decided. And it's gone all the way. So that's a 4. Good looking shot coming in from Craig.
Yes, very good looking shot there. Misfield. And even though the fielder chased it down, I think they just moved the rope out a little bit. And the umpire has given it as 4. Let's have a look again. Outside off stump. Good looking shot there. Misfield. The fielder chasing it down. Yes, that's hit the rope. Brilliant umpiring again. Again, strong looking shot there by Craig. No run. The captain Kyle Coates are still in Sam's ear, Shiju Sam's ear, asking him why he had given it as 4. Well, there is a reason he's known as Eagle Eye Shiju. He had his eye on the ball as it hit the rope. 47 for 1 Namibia, Shoaib. Very much on track to chase his total down.
Yes, that's right. Nicely pulled there from Bradley. They are on their way unless they meet with a few speed bumps, and those are wickets. Scotland need wickets, and if they can manage to do that, then Namibia will feel some pressure. It's not become, the wicket has not changed much, so it's almost the same wicket as of now. It's not going to be very easy for Namibia, but if they can manage to keep wickets, play till the end, they have a very strong chance. Meanwhile, a length delivery played up in the air, again clearing the infield. This time the ball will slow down, but not too much. It's gone all the way for a 4.
Well, again, Craig gets that boundary. 2 dot balls. And then again another 4 with outside off stump. He's very strong there. So Scotland and its bowler is just missing the plot a little bit. against Craig Williams. As Ahmed was mentioning, he does look bat a lot like Matthew Pryor of England. 50 up for Namibia in just the 5.4 overs.
Nice delivery, but just kept low. Wanted to cut that. Craig, he's playing well. Scoring at more than a run a ball. That's absolutely brilliant in the context of the game. They're not chasing a mammoth total of 200. So, good start here for Craig and Bard.
Yes, and if you're just a little confused on why the batsmen have a completely different shirt from what they were fielding in, it's extremely hot outside. Imagine that they had to change once they had finished their 20 overs in the field. Straight down the ground, just taking a quick single. Much better over for Namibia, 9 coming off it. 52 for 1, the end of the power play.
Yes, the right power play for Namibia. They've started off really well, and yes, you're right about the jerseys. They've changed their jerseys in the second innings, and I think it's a different material as well. So, considering the heat, they might have designed something, and in the testing phase, maybe that's why they've got a change in the jersey. That's the bowling scorecard. Joshua Davey, 2 overs, 20 runs and a wicket. Safyan Sharif, 2 overs, 12, and Bradley Wheel, 2 overs, 16. So 3 bowlers used in the power play. Only 1 successful. Joshua Davey, 52 for 1 after 6.
And Namibia, having lost that first wicket for just 2 runs on the board, 50-run partnership between these two batsmen. So, very good fight back. It could have been very easy for them to lose the plot. One usually brings 2 when it comes to the wickets falling. And after the power play, as soon as the power play is over, with a little bit more support outside the 30-yard circle, the spinner has come on. Watt coming into bowl now.
Oh no!
Yes, what a very, very effective left-arm spinner. I've seen him play in the qualifiers in Dubai in 2019. Or was it 18? I'm not sure. But yes, very, very effective. Mixes it up really nicely. And very economical as well.
Yo, down!
Well, again, on the stumps, yesterday we saw Hamza Tahir bowling. He was very effective as well. But I feel Watt has much better bowling action as a left-arm spinner. Looks very effective indeed.
Catch it!
Again, trying that reverse sweep, that switch hit to the left-arm bowler. Getting some bat on it, but straight to the fielder, short third man. Very interesting field placing here. There's nobody at point, just that one fielder behind the wicket keeper on the offside. Then they've got a deep point.
Yo, down!
It's an interesting field placement here for Watt. This one has just been played towards the long on. So first run given away by Watt in 4 deliveries. That's what I'm talking about. Very tight and in his line and length.
And especially against Craig, somebody who's been batting really well aggressively. To string up those dot balls is going to be very important for Scotland if they want to make a fist of this game. Otherwise, Namibia is going to run away with it.
Yo, it's fine!
This time with Kapil. But we'll have to wait for the umpire if there's any bat involved. Yes, there is no signal of a leg bye from Iftikhar Ali. So that means there was a bat and that appeal was futile.
Well, maybe just out of hope, Watt was thinking that it hit the pads first. A dangerous shot. Again, you can understand why they're playing it with that one fielder on point.
Yes, buddy!
Again, very well bowled. Following the batsman, shooting it down to his legs. Just the 2 runs coming off that over. 54 for 1 at the end of 7.
Yes, a good comeback from Scotland. And what? The first over after power play has been very effective. So that means that now the runs will dry up unless Namibia try to innovate, get those sweeps and the reverse sweeps and the paddle sweeps and lap shots and the scoop shots. All that new terminology that's come in with the T20 cricket. They need to use all of that.
Well, we saw Namibia do that against the UAE in the first game. Bulk of their scoring was behind the wicket keeper. So they are capable. It just depends on the bowler. If they land it in the right slot, it's very difficult to execute those reverse and paddle shots. But with 6.5 runs and over needed, Shoaib, I don't think that's necessary. They have the gaps in the field. Just push for those singles, and these are big boundaries. You can easily get 2 if you get the right strength behind the shot. Not everything has to be brute force. Sometimes just that orthodox singles will put a lot of pressure on the bowling side.
Yes, you're correct on that. They need to get those singles. Michael Leask is the new bowler. Bowls around the wicket. Left a right arm off spinner. Cramping for room is the plan. 1 run added to the total.
Well, I have a theory that if his off spinner is coming around the wicket, it's usually because he doesn't turn the ball that much.
Appeal, but that appeal again coming around the wicket is always going to be very difficult to get because you're going to pitch the ball outside leg. Most of your deliveries will be in that angle. So difficult to get an LBW from that side of the wicket.
And that's why I'm not a very big fan of off spinners coming around the wicket to the right-handers.
Beautifully timed. That's been tonked. It's gone all the way out of the park into the next oval. And that has come from the middle of the bat of Bard.
Well, I think you got confused with the pun in your mind. I think you should leave that to Ahmed and Faizan. It's not our cup of tea anymore. Well, what a beautiful shot that. Straight down the ground over the long on fielder. Massive hit. And again that off spinner coming around the wicket. Just playing to Bard's strength. He's very strong down the ground. Umpire having a look at the ball. Again, COVID protocols being followed. So if somebody from outside the bubble touches the ball, they have to sanitize it. Fortunately, that was not the case now. Leask coming in again.
Yes, this time pulled his length back. Michael Leask. That's a good comeback. Need to bowl in the right length. Fuller length this time, played straight down the ground, will get a single. So all that pressure in the previous over has been released with that big shot coming in from Bard.
And yes, 8 runs in the first 5 deliveries now. The last ball just tonk it for a single. Get 9 off the over and you've recovered that good over from Watt as well. So Namibia pacing their chase very well.
Again in the slot, again a similar result, this time cleaner, and this time it's the other batter. It's Craig who joins the party in the same over. Michael Leask has been taken to the cleaners. A very, very expensive over coming in.
Well, clearly the Namibia batsmen have a very different thinking from me. This ball was in the zone, in the slot to be hit. There's no fielder in that cow corner area. They didn't need to know where the fielders was because that was hit very hard over cow corner for 6. Again, expensive over. And after losing Zane Green's wicket of the first delivery, Stephen Bard and Craig Williams have put up a brilliant partnership together.
So Watt continues. And what a great over Watt has bowled.
What can he do? What? I'm sorry, I can't do that with a straight face.
This time played down to the ground. And it's gone into the hands of the fielder, so will just be a single. 70 now on the board for Namibia. Just another 55, 57 runs needed 58 maybe. You'll have to wait for that graphic to come up.
.58 runs to get. Craig again going for his shots. He's playing very aggressively. Even though they got the 14 runs in the last over, they're still going for their shots. In the stumps, played really well down to the mid-wicket fielder. They wanted to go for 2, but just stick to 1.
Yes, what has been really on the target in this over and also in the previous one, so it will be a challenge for Bard. It's going to be a contest between Bard and Watt. Another single added to the total. Namibia looking very, very comfortable. They don't need to do anything different here, Abdul Rahman. Just need to keep doing what they're doing right. The loose balls are being hit out of the park, and then the good ones are being respected and taken for singles.
Again, very good looking shot in the air, but safe. And yes, Craig and Bard have put up a very, very good partnership. Bard taking that form from the first game where he scored a 50 against UAE, looking very good. He's young, but he looks very composed as a batsman.
This time down the leg. Has it hit the batsman? We'll have to wait and watch. Yes, it has. No wide given, so a good ball again to end the over. 6 runs in his 2. What? Namibia are 73 for 1 now after 9.
Have a look at the broadcasting partners for this Dafa News Summer T20 Bash. Sony 10, India, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. 10 sports has been added for Pakistan. Cricket Life in UAE and Free Sport in the UK. And streaming partners for your mobile devices, youtube.com/sportseye, Sony Live and the Switch TV app. We're coming live from the ICC Cricket Academy grounds. The Dafa News UAE Summer T20 Bash 2021 powered by Sport Gully.
Yes, those are broadcasters and streaming partners where you can enjoy this high quality cricket live. Meanwhile, there's a change in the bowling for Scotland. Starts off well there, just be a single looking for 2, good running, and will get them those 2 runs that they were asking for.
Well, a very different bowling action by Budge. He's a medium pacer but just bowls over his head like a leg spinner. 2 runs off the first delivery.
Yes, medium pace, a big heave coming, thickish outside edge, and that's gone. That's raced away towards the third man fence for a 4. They don't mind that. They wouldn't mind that. Anything that comes off the bat, anything that gets that addition into the score, Namibia will take it.
Yes, again for a medium pacer, no third man. We heard Ahmed and Faizan talk about this when they were leaking boundaries to the third man region. With the medium pacer bowling, they still have that short third man fielder. So anything that goes past the wicket keeper is always going to go for 4.
Yes, but I think the key here is to place the third man right. If you're bowling closer to the stump, the third man has to be finer. If you're bowling away, it has to be wider. This one was a wide delivery. For this, you can't place a third man anywhere.
Keep backing yourself here, Budge. Come on, boy.
Well, it seems Budge has a plan. Bowl outside off stump, and that's the question here, Shoaib. If he is going to bowl outside off stump, why not have that fielder deep?
This time again, that fine fielder. The third man dives but will not be able to stop that. It's gone again towards the third man fence for a 4 off the bat. So this is not good news for Scotland.
Well, like our core commentator Faizan, I'm also not a big fan of having short third man in the circle for a medium pacer. And we've seen that now. 2 boundaries in this over going in that region. So Scotland just losing the plot a little bit. 5 runs and over needed now for Namibia. 84 for the loss of just that 1 wicket in 9.3.
A no ball. That should be a no ball again in that third man fence. So all the runs are coming in that third man region, and the fielder still continues to be inside the circle, not learning from their mistakes. This one is a poor delivery. For this ball, of course, you cannot place a fielder anywhere in the ground.
Sure, but I think Faizan and I are just going to write on a big white placard, please keep a third man, and just stand in front of the Scotland dugout or in front of their captain Kyle Coetzer. A free hit coming up now. They can't change the field, unfortunately.
Straight to the fielder. No is the call. Good call at the right time, because there was never a single. Well, the idea of keeping the third man, and this is what I understand, is that you want the batsman to play in that big mid-wicket area, because they're going for wickets. Meanwhile, he's played a beautiful shot straight out of the bat. A full drive, one for the photographer. It's gone straight down the ground, and that's a 6.
And with that 6, Craig brings up his half century. Beautiful shot. Textbook over the long off fielder. You can understand why they've got those fielders deep. Craig has played absolute magnificent knock. Coming in the first over after the wicket of Zane Green, Craig Williams has played and outscored Stephen Bard. 50 not out. 9.4 overs, 95 for 1. Let's have a look at that. Straight down the ground, Williams has been brilliant.
Oh yes, he's been brilliant all around. He's been playing absolutely all over. He's good on the offside, he's good on the onside. And he scored boundaries at will. This one just right out of the middle of the bat, straight into the mid-wicket area, and then some edges of the bat as well. So fortune favours the brave, they say. And we have a brave Craig who scored a brave 50.
Yes,
And
that last 6 to get to 50. The shot of his innings, the shot of the game for me, straight down the ground. Namibia going at 10 runs and over from here. I think it's just going to be another 4 or 5 overs to finish this game off if they continue at this pace.
Yes, that's why this has been a gamble taken by Scotland in the form of Dylan Budge. And that hasn't proved very favourable for them. Very expensive over coming in. Craig Williams getting his 50 in just 36 deliveries at a strike rate of 138. 4 boundaries and 7 boundaries and 2 sixes. This, meanwhile, up in the air, it's gone and it's taken by the fielder. So finally a wicket on the last ball of this Budge over. And it is the in-form Craig Williams. Big wicket, prized wicket for Budge.
Well, that last delivery, I think Budge was thinking this is the last ball of his spell. He's not going to come in again, having conceded 18 runs in this over. But he eventually gets the wicket of Craig Williams, who I think just got a little bit tired after scoring those 50 runs. Namibia, 95 for 2 in 10 overs. And that dynamic duo of Ahmed and Faizan will now come in to entertain you guys.
Right then, a wicket greeting us as soon as we've entered the comm box. But Namibia looking very, very comfortable here. Only about 40 odd runs away from their target of 138. 95 for 2 at the halfway stage. And Faizan, it's been a disappointing show from Team Scotland today.
In fact, it's been a very expressive show coming in from the Namibia batsmen. They have done nothing wrong today. Winning the toss, deciding to bowl first, and everything has been falling into place for them. So I think more than poor bowling from the Scottish, I think it's better batting from the Namibians.
Well said there. They've looked a very professional side, very well drilled, very well prepared for UAE conditions, and it's the captain Merve Erasmus who's come out to bat. 5 T20 I50s to his name. That strike rate is absolutely brilliant.
And just 26 years old. So a young captain for Namibia. You'd want to put some runs against his name as well, because the Namibians have been going hammer and tongs at the bowling in the past few overs. Brilliant stuff, some brilliant sixes, brilliant fours that we've seen, especially since the time spin was introduced into the attack. They have been cruising along. 138 seemed to be a decent total, not anymore here, Ahmed.
Indeed, Craig Williams with yet another 50 in the Dafa News T20 bash. Worked away towards the backward point fielder. And they're pushing for 2. This could be very close, and gets that dive in. Excellent running by the captain.
An excellent commitment as well. Just leaving nothing to chance there. Good running between the wickets. Wonderful running between the wickets. The last 5 overs, Ahmed, has yielded 52 runs.
It's been a superb counter-attack from Craig Williams and Stephen Bard. Once again playing his role to perfection. Just anchors the Namibian innings. They all bat around him and batting at a fair clip as well. Here was that big dive coming in from the captain, even though the throw is well wide of the mark. But he felt like he'd stolen a single there. Excellent commitment, excellent strategy. Bradley Wheel into his 3rd over. Once again squeezed down to that 3rd man fielder. They're good at that glide shot.
Yeah, they scored a lot of runs in the last game as well. They played against the UAE behind the wickets. So if they can use the pace, they can play those unconventional shots that Abdur Rahman and Shoaib were talking about while doing commentary in the last stint. 98 for the loss of 2, that is the score right now. Required run rate of just around 4.3 runs and over.
So it's been a tough day at the office for the Scotsmen. They'll need to revisit the drawing board, perhaps tinker with their batting order. Of course, Callum McLeod, another key player for them, was missing today. Perhaps just squad rotation. Coming into the batter this time from Josh Davey. Bradley Wheel. And their bowling attack, as we were discussing off air, it's more suited to more helpful bowling conditions perhaps. They need to readjust their lengths that they bowl in Asian conditions.
Absolutely, spot on there, because while bowling in their home country, they get swing, they get seam movement. So bowling here, back of the length, not working for them.
And of course, this is the dynamic duo of myself and Faizan Khan.
Self-proclaimed dynamic duo.
Well, we have to proclaim ourselves before anyone else does. There's no better promotion than self-promotion. That's what I always say.
That's self-love for Ahmed.
Just short of the triple figure mark there are Namibia. 99 for 2, absolutely cruising at this stage. And this is excellent preparation for round 1 of the World T20 for the Blue Eagles. Cracked away this time behind point. Cover sweeper will have to give a chase, but is going to run away for 4. The captain playing a commanding shot. 100 up for the Blue Eagles.
Absolutely amazing. Rocking onto the back foot and hitting it towards backward point. Beautifully played. And it was a poor ball once again, giving enough room, enough time to swing your hands through the ball. Amazing shot coming in from Merva. 7 of 3 now.
Lovely executed late cut, square cut there. Bradley Wheel has had to toil on this pitch. This time a good quicker delivery right on middle and off, and he has a bit of pace about him. 11 overs gone. 103 for 2.
Well, Bard on 32 of 25. Very good knock coming in from him. Partnered by Craig Williams. That partnership took the game away from Scotland. That's a look at the scorecard here. Zane Green, the first man out. without scoring. Stephen Bard still there, 32 of 25. Craig Williams, what a knock coming in from him. Ahmed, 50 of just 37 deliveries in a low-scoring game, priceless. And Merva Erasmus still there on 7 of 4.
It's the second time we've seen Craig Williams in this Dafa News UAE Summer T20 Bash, and he's been extremely impressive once again. 50 against UAE and now 50 against Scotland. He feels like a top player. Very, very organized. Has a lot of shots outside off stump. He really loved to favor that square cut and cover drive. And when the spinners were brought on, he immediately took toll on them, plundered them for a lot of runs. Required run rate of below 4 now. So they're in a very commanding position. Solid punch back to the bowler. It's Josh Davey indeed this time into the attack.
Good start for Josh Davey. Although he's been expensive as well, but he has picked up a wicket against his name. And that was a time when it was looking as if Scotland is going to command their innings with the ball as well. But Namibia had different plans. They came out all guns blazing, playing attacking cricket. And this was the requirement of the day as well. The wicket has eased out a lot more.
Oh, big full toss there. Taking a look at the leg umpire. But I think that may be just below his hip there. And as he stepped out of the crease, perhaps creating that angle that just about favors the bowler here.
And a slower ball as well, and it's very humid out there, so a lot of sweat coming into the fingers. Namibia require 35 of 52 deliveries. It's their game to lose from here on in, which is not going to happen, I believe.
Absolutely. They have an opener still out there, Stephen Bard. Slower delivery this time, quick single taken. And yes, long on was back, so easily done there. And of course, we have one more day in the tournament. There's a Super Sunday on the offing, a double header. Really looking forward to that. The home team, UAE, will be in action. Got a fantastic victory against Ireland yesterday. That will give them a lot of moral upliftment that they can compete at this level with the best of them.
Absolutely, and also a decider for the series as well. 1-1 is what the series is at right now.
Dot ball trying to walk down to Josh Davey once again. Yes, indeed. Finally, the UAE batting came good after a couple of games where they struggled. Chirag Suri playing a fantastic hand. And the bowling of Akif Raja and Zahoor Khan. Ahmed Raza, the captain as well, taking responsibility. Vritya Arvind was looking in good touch as well. So the signs are very, very bright for the future of UAE cricket. And a lot of credit goes to the Emirates Cricket Board, backing the boys, giving them high-class facilities, high-class coaching. Yeah. Lovely punch there by Merva Erasmus. Mid-off in the circle, does really well. Craig Wallace there at mid-off. In fact, Chris Greaves, who put in that dive and saved a certain boundary.
Great effort, good effort. They are down but not out right now, the Scottish unit. 106 for the loss of 2, that is the score right now after that couple of runs. Nicely played though, in the gap as well. And it took a lot of effort coming in from the fielder, diving to his left, fully stretching himself in the heat. Great effort.
And we were speaking about the world-class facilities. The outfield out here is absolutely pristine. Picture perfect. In the air this time, but towards mid-wicket. And they're pushing for 2, hard running. And of course, when the captain gives you a call, you have to respond. Direct hit, but he was safely in there. 12 overs gone. Namibia 108 for 2.
So Merv on 11 of 7, and Merv keeping his nerve very cool and calm there.
He just can't resist a good pun here, Faizan Khan.
I have one more up my belt. I'll give you that once we get the bowling scorecard.
Of course, you are watching the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash 2021, powered by Sport Gully. Top 5 teams who are going into the round 1 of the ICC World T20. That's beginning on the 17th of October in Oman and Abu Dhabi. And these teams are getting very, very vital match practice, getting used to the conditions, the climate, the pitches, the outfield. It's going to be valuable in that do or die scenario of round 1 of the World T20.
And I just hope the weather changes just a little bit. And it's going to ease as the days goes on. Usually during the 15th of October, it's pretty nice and non-humid because it's very, very humid right now. Watt comes into bowl, and he is the only bowler, Watt, who has provided some energy to this bowling unit.
Only conceded 6 runs in his 2 overs so far. Left arm orthodox. Stephen Bard, the epitome of patience. 33 of 28. He's been there right from ball 1. And when you have a batter who can bat deep in T20 eyes, it's such a massive advantage. Nicely punched off the front foot, because he then allows the entire batting lineup to bat around him. They can express themselves. They know that he is always going to be holding up one end and can score quickly when required. Behind the popping crease, well behind. That was quite interesting from Mark Watt.
Well, brilliant. One name that comes to mind who used to use that a lot was Saqlain Mushtaq. He would bowl from behind the stumps as well sometimes.
This time that arm ball fired in and nicely punched down the ground. And of course, Craig Williams is in good form. Stephen Bard batting well. Merv Erasmus, the captain, looking very solid. David Wiesa in that key position of number 5, number 6. And JJ Smith has a very good strike rate as well in T20 eyes. Flicked in the air towards long on, and it's safely pouched. Mark Watt has got his wicket.
I told you, Watt is the only man who has provided some energy, and that's a kilowatt punch coming in from Watt here. Brilliant stuff. Nicely bowled, looping it in the air and just drawing the batsman to go for that chip. It was, I think, more than anything else, he wanted to, just chip it through the 30-yard circle. He timed it too perfectly.
Indeed, he was looking to find that gap at mid-wicket, perhaps push for 2. But 11 off 8, didn't waste a lot of time. Good strike rate. A sole boundary to his name. So Mark Watt deservedly getting a wicket for some accurate bowling.
Is there a twist in the tail, Ahmed? What do you think as David Wiesa comes in to bat now?
Well, he only has one way of batting, and that is aiming for maximums. A very, very high-class performer at T20 level. That career strike rate certainly does not do any justice to him at all. He is an absolute gun player in the middle order. And he has that finisher's DNA. He knows how to complete a run chase. That's his speciality.
Absolutely. Can play in any batting side, in any T20 league in the world. He's proved himself worthy to be off the playing 11 of all the teams that he has played throughout his career. And the best part with him is the fact that he can bowl and he can bat as well. He can give you those 4 nice overs in the middle, and then he can come down and win the game for you if requirement be.
Absolutely. A quality fast bowling all-rounder is absolute gold dust in T20. We've seen the likes of Fahim Ashraf, Hardik Pandya, Marcus Stoinis, Mitchell Marsh, to name quite a few. And David Wiesa, of course, played for South Africa in the 2016 World T20 that was held in India. Once again, those quick arm balls fired in, but Stephen Bard was prepared for it. And when you have that kind of batter who can also finish games, that is a formula for sure success.
Absolutely. Perfectly described there by Ahmed. He can play at number 5, number 6, maybe even number 7 if required, and can hit those big ones day in, day out, even if his eyes are closed.
And more importantly than just his performance on the field, off the field, his presence in the locker room, his experience, his nous, it is absolutely invaluable. Can be a big game changer for the Blue Eagles. Through his gate, big appeal, and he's been given the commentator's curse strikes once again. David Wiesa gone for a golden duck. Stone cold leg before.
What are you doing? What amazing stuff. I was asking you when David Wiesa was coming in, is there a twist in the tail? That is the twist that we were looking forward to. So the game is now hanging in the balance. A few more wickets here and there, and this might just turn around.
Unbelievable disappointment here David Wisa gone for a golden duck. That arm ball from Mark Watt was bowled absolutely perfectly, hitting middle of middle. There was no other decision that could have been given, and in the end it's a short clip to the middle for David Wisa.
Brilliant stuff coming in from Mark Watt. He's the only bowler who's troubled the batters out there, and that shows in his stats as well. Finishing his third over, he had given away just 6 runs before this, and he has given away only 4 runs, I believe, in this particular over as well, and picked up 2 important wickets. One of them, the huge wicket of David Wisa.
And here comes J.J. Smith then. Look at that career strike rate of 162. It's not in his nature to mess around. 19 sixes already in 13 matches before this. So he's going to be aiming for the fences.
So either it's going to be over or it's going to be over for Smith.
Absolutely. It's go big or go home. That's the only policy he believes in. But as long as Stephen Bard is there at the crease, I think Namibia will be fairly comfortable.
Absolutely. Now Bard needs to play a sedate innings. He needs to make sure that he takes his team home with a victory here.
Mark Watt with a brilliant spell. Only 8 runs conceded in his 3 overs and deservedly getting 2 wickets to his name as well. So a bit of a twist in the tail here. I still feel Namibia are bossing the game, but you absolutely never know. T20 cricket is the funniest game of them all.
Bard is the man they would be looking at to bowl now. If they can get Bard, they can put Namibia onto the back foot and corner them.
Michael Leask coming into the attack. Right arm off break. He's just firing it in once again. You got to bring that mid wicket in here. Kyle Kurtzer, you need to create some pressure. Why give them that easy single?
Spot on, Ahmed. I was thinking exactly the same thing. That's an easy run towards mid wicket. And they don't even need a runner ball from here on. So if they deal in singles, they're going to win it easily. You need to put pressure. You need to make something happen. Go for the kill.
And he's done exactly that. That mid-wicket fielder has been put in now. That's a good line. Testing their technique, bowling it on middle and leg. So if they miss it, they're absolutely going to be a dead duck. J.J. Smith bowled well earlier today. Nicely punched through the covers. Out to the sweeper, and he'll get off the mark quite easily.
Nothing heroic coming in from the batter there, and that's the right way to go. Get the more experienced, the more set Bard in to take the strike. 13.3 gone, 112 for 4. In comes Leask once again. This one is driven down the ground, nicely played. Although the ball seemed to stop just a little bit in the wicket, he went into the shot just a little bit early, and that is why it went in the air for a little bit. But nicely controlled, nicely played in the end for a single.
And I would consider asking Michael Leask, go over the wicket, try to spin the ball into the stumps. Why bowl with such a defensive line? This time, cut away behind point. They're pushing for 2 this time, and they will pick it up very easily. So I'm not that pleased with the line and length of Leask and the tactics here from Scotland. This is not on.
Absolutely, they need to get their prime bowlers to bowl here. Safyan Sharif was really good in the first 2 overs that he had bowled, given away just 12 runs, and he seemed like taking a wicket as well in those first overs. You need to get him back.
Good fielding effort off his own bowling. Dot ball to end the over. 14 overs gone. Namibia are 115 for 4.
And still in control of the game, Namibia 115 for 4. 14 overs gone, 6 more overs remaining. Bard on 37 of 34. Smith on 3 of 4. All Smith needs to do is to keep his calm and keep rotating strike with Bard.
There you can see then Jan Freiling, Carl Birkenstock to follow after this. So not too much batting, but surely they can do enough to complete this run chase. 14 extras given away by the Scotsmen. That's another thing that they certainly need to work on. It's going to be Mark Watt to continue. Sliced away nicely behind point. Stephen Bard looking the picture of serenity here for the Namibians.
Good bit of fielding once again. They were looking to go for 2 here. Good attacking move on the ball from the fielder there. And that's Budge who was nudging towards the ball and cut it off. And actually, only a single taken.
Indeed, read the trajectory of the ball well, attacked it, got his throwing arm around it. Good technique, good presence of mind, and a solid throw. J.J. Smith on strike. Let's see if he can resist Mark Watt, or will he go downtown immediately? Oh, good quick arm ball once again on that fourth stump line. And on one end, Mark Watt has provided so much control, but Michael Lee's gone for 2 overs and 19 runs. So the spin twins, only one of them has been on his game today. Worked away behind point. Good fielding once again.
Also, as you pointed out, it was a negative approach. That's a defensive approach. That happens when you're defending a big target. You don't want the batters to score off you easily enough. Coming around the wicket, never good for an offie.
This time to work towards mid-wicket. Bit of a misfield. It's Greaves out there. Needed a clean take to stop that single. So there is a bit of pressure being created. 21 still required of 32 deliveries. Good effort from Greaves at mid-wicket.
A couple of good overs is what Scotland would be looking at here.
Reverse paddle comes out from Stephen Bart, straight to short third man, and they won't take a single. Good hard throw.
Nicely timed that, straight to the man. No chance for a single there. So another dot ball. Pressure building up slowly but surely. 21 of 31 required now. Still in control for Namibia.
Oh, inside edge onto the pads and just misses the stumps. They'll scurry through for a single. So that's the end of Mark Watt's spell for today. He was outstanding. 15 overs gone. Namibia 118 for 4.
The only bowler who has had impact on this game is this bowler who's just finished his spell. In the first 3 overs, he'd given away 8 runs. That third over was a game changer. Picked up 2 wickets in that particular over. And in a game where Namibia is going at almost 9 runs and over throughout the innings, coming in bowling at around 3 to 4 runs and over. Brilliant stuff coming in from Mark Watt here. Smith and Bard on the crease right now. Namibia 20 more required. 30 balls remaining. When you say it like this, it seems very, very easy. But it might just all change if a couple of wickets go here and there.
Michael Lees to continue here. Punch to cover. So he still has another couple of overs here to bowl. Interesting to see that Kyle Kurtzer is not using his seamers. Oh, fired in once again. The keeper did well. That reverse paddle could have been distracting. Could have easily run down for 4, and he's taken a bit of a blow there. Matt Cross. I think it might have hit him in that fleshy part between the kneecap and the pad. But fist bumps all round. Good to see. Yes, indeed. That part just above the knee roll, that always hurts, Faizan.
Absolutely. Painful to see even. You can feel the pain almost. It's very, very painful. Yesterday we had a blow on the wrist as well, which was, very painful again.
The only thing more dangerous than playing cricket in the field is doing commentary on it.
Especially when you're towards the square leg region in the field.
We are definitely in the firing line here for some sixes, I can tell you that.
I was thinking, in fact, while Abdul Rahman and Shoaib were doing commentary, we'll get back to this after this ball that has been played down the ground towards long off for a single. I was thinking while sitting in the back, what if a ball comes? We won't have enough time possibly to actually duck down in time.
Well, I'm certainly going to hide behind Abdul Rahman. He can be my human shield against these big sixes that are coming from the likes of PNG especially. Again, trying that reverse paddle. That's a brilliant take by Matt Cross. Well done.
Well, Michael Leask has bowled pretty decently in this particular over. Hasn't given away a lot of runs here. But again, I'm not impressed with the kind of angle that he's trying to create. I'm sure he must be comfortable coming around the wicket.
This time down the ground, hit towards long off, and he takes the catch. The pressure paying off. Michael Leask gets his wicket.
What is the opposite of commentators, Kuz? That is what has happened with Leask here, because I was about to say that I'm not very impressed with that he's coming around the wicket. But now he's picked up a wicket from the same angle, and this is the big one. This is what we were talking about. If you get barred, you might just get the match as well.
Indeed, Stephen Bard, his patience finally running out. They were bowling dry, a lot of dot balls being stringed together. But he's played a decent hand, 39 of 41 deliveries. But once again, this game that looked in cruise control, as suddenly the balance of it has shifted back into the middle as Jan Freiling, left-hand batter, coming out for Namibia.
The situation seems a little desperate for Namibia right now because they're 5 wickets down. Batter number 7 coming out to bat now. Freiling, the new man. And as Ahmed explained, a lefty coming in to bat. And here, another wicket or a couple of good hovers can certainly bring Scotland into the game completely. Another wicket. They need at least one more wicket to push in, to put enough pressure onto the batters. Jan Freiling is the new batter. 10 matches, not enough runs on board for him. 61 only. And a strike rate 107. That will do today.
Indeed, it's even less than a run a ball required right now. Tucked away towards mid-wicket. Once again, that deep fielder, Kyle Kurtzer, you've given away 2 runs for absolutely nothing there. That is really, really poor. 16 overs gone. Namibia 122 for 5.
Absolutely poor captaincy there. You need to bring in your fielders now. Put some attack. And stop those flurry of runs on the leg side. And they've run well between the wickets, the Namibians. So you need to actually come in like that. Let's take a look at the scorecard. They started with a loss of Zane Green with just 1 run on the board. Stephen Bard, he was there for a long time. 39 of 41 deliveries. Craig Williams, what a knock. That was the game-changing knock in the match. 50 of 37 deliveries. And since then, it's all been going downhill for the Namibians.
Absolutely. Losing David Huiza for a golden duck was a big blow. Since then, the Scotsmen have tightened up the scoring rate. 16 still required of 24 deliveries. So the equation is heavily in Namibia's favour. But being 5 wickets down, there's a bit of pressure on the lower order.
Absolutely. And all your set batsmen have walked back to the pavilion. Your top order is gone. So you don't have a batter who can actually bat through the innings here. Apart from Smith.
So he's Kyle Kurtzer bringing in his quickest bowler, Sufyan Sharif. Only 12 runs conceded. So he's has the death overs bowling role here. Needs to hit that Yorker length. Needs to use his variations as well. Those slower bouncers, back of the hand deliveries. Jan Freiling on strike. Down the leg side, nicely tucked away towards square leg. They're pushing for 2. And with that big square outfield, he'll pick it up very easily.
Nicely played. Just a tuck around the corner. And straight to gap. Didn't try to hit it too hard. The idea was always to take a single or maybe a 2. 2 was the call right from the word go. And they eventually ended up taking a couple of runs here, which is actually a lot of runs in the context of the game for Scotland.
Solidly behind that quick single taken within the circle, shy at the stumps, but once again excellent communication between Freiling and Smith. Just not being able to string together those dot balls.
Absolutely. The pressure not building up. 3 runs off the first 2 deliveries here. And just 13 more required now of 22 balls. It seems to be going Namibia's way, although Scotland has made inroads. They have come back strongly into the side, but not enough runs on board, Ahmed.
Long run is being called into the circle after a discussion with umpire, captain and bowler, and that makes sense. What's the point of having them out on the boundary ropes when you don't have plenty of runs to defend? And they've called in that cover sweeper as well. No, the fine leg, in fact. He's in the circle too. Tucked away towards mid-wicket. Once again, they're pushing for 2. And once again, they will get 2 easily. This has been very frustrating to watch.
Absolutely. Easy runs there for Namibia once again. Smith on strike this time around. And Sharif, who's bowled pretty well throughout the day, isn't able to stop those flow of runs that is coming in. And singles and doubles is all they need. They don't need to go for any flashy shots, any slashes or any big ones whatsoever. They need to take singles, rotate the strike.
Mid-wicket now brought in and fine leg has been pushed back. Well, if they're going to hit your quickest bowler through mid-wicket for 4, then that's best of luck to them. There's nothing much you can do about that, but give him the opportunity. Slower delivery with this time, worked away right to that fielder who has just come in.
Spot on, Ahmed. Great reading of the game there. 127 on the board, 5 wickets down. Smith and Freiling at the crease right now. Sharif bowling some good deliveries. A dot ball after quite a while here.
I've just not been a fan of Kyle Kurtzer's captaincy today. Those field placings leave a lot to be desired. Hopefully they can address that with the team coaching and management. Inside edge onto the pads. Once again that change of pace from Sufyan Sharif. And if they had perhaps maybe 8 to 10 runs more, this could have been a very different game.
And we said that at the start of the innings. 145, 146, maybe 150. And that is why I said they were at least 12 runs short when they scored 137 in the first innings. Scotland, not good enough. 11 more required, 19 balls remaining. It's getting tighter.
Third man is pushed back. This time just bunted down the ground. Once again, it's an easy single to long on. You only have 11 runs to defend. What's the point of having them manning the boundary ropes? Get them into the circle. It's the middle lower order batting here. 128 for 5. 3 overs remaining. They could have definitely made these runs a lot harder to get, the Scotsmen. They could have put a lot more pressure.
Absolutely. And they haven't done that throughout the day. Minus the first over where we saw a slip in place. And it's going to be a spinner from the other end now. Because the slower balls were working for the faster bowlers as well. Sufyan Sharif bowled a couple of dot deliveries with those slower balls, and then a faster one was played easily towards long on. So I think they're going to, reduce the pace on the delivery and make them work hard for those singles now. But they need to actually bring in fielders to stop those singles and doubles.
Absolutely. JJ Smith 10 of 13. Jan Freiling as well, looking busy at the crease. They've been presented run scoring opportunities and they haven't refused them at all. Josh Davey coming into the attack. Oh, hit him in front. Bit of a stifled appeal. Perhaps height would have been an issue. And the bowler didn't even bother asking the umpire. Interesting.
It seemed close from here. It seemed pretty close. Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah, height is the factor here. Certainly, but a good ball to start with.
Hitting JJ Smith on the inside thigh. 10 required off 17. So it looks fairly straightforward, but there is no such thing as straightforward in cricket. Standing deep in his crease. Slower ball this time down the leg side, but I think it has flicked his shirt, not given. So a dot ball.
Played the shot really early. He has taken a full rotation when the ball actually came to him. So good start for Davey. A couple of dot balls putting the pressure here. And that is why it is of utmost importance to actually bring in fielders so that easy singles are not available. This pressure can get to Smith and to Freiling, and they might just have a wicket here.
Big full toss hit towards that extra cover region. Mid-off is in the circle, and that's basically a free hit for JJ Smith, and he has cashed in for 4.
Well, that would release all the pressure that was applied in the last over in this one. If you talk about Namibia, much required boundary from them. Very easy ball, just placing it to the gap, not trying it a little too hard to hit. So finally getting 4. 132 on the board. 6 more required to win.
Just a hit away from victory then. Short ball pulled away towards long on. And that is going to be the game. JJ Smith has sealed victory in style. Namibia win by 5 wickets.
Absolutely. What a shot to finish. But I think the umpires are checking whether it's a 6 or a 4. Are they? Although the umpire had given a 6, now he's talking on his walkie-talkie, and they just wanted to make sure that the ball has landed beyond the boundary ropes there. But what a performance coming in from Namibia. We always thought 138 was never going to be easy for them, but they made mincemeat out of it. So yeah, it's all over. 6 given by the umpire. So as I was saying, when they came out to bat, they made mincemeat of the Scottish bowling unit and eventually reaped the benefits towards the end. Good victory, a comfortable victory coming in.
Absolutely, a very commanding performance here by the Blue Eagles of Namibia. They got a bit shaky in the middle order with some quick wickets going down, but in the end, the likes of Stephen Bard, Craig Williams and J.J. Smith doing more than enough to seal a 5 wicket victory over Scotland, who need to revisit the drawing board, need to work on their bowling plans, fielding plans. It was tough conditions to bat. They were reduced to 21 for 3 at one stage. Then a decent partnership of 40 odd, and Richard Barrington with yet another strong performance in the middle order for them. You can just say it was a bad day in the office for the Scottish top order. It will certainly come good later on.
Absolutely. There was nobody who could help Richard Barrington in the middle. 61 of 46 deliveries, but there was not a meaningful inning coming in from any other batter. And that is why a score of 137 was never good enough. If Barrington can bat on the wicket like that, why not the other batters as well? And we saw in the second innings also that it was actually a good wicket to bat on.
Fist bumps all round. The game was played in a very good spirit. Of course, these are all very crucial games leading up to round 1 of the ICC World T20. These two teams will be taking part in the qualifiers. Only 2 teams from each group will make it to the big show of the World T20 itself. So this is vital match practice, and good to see them sharing dressing rooms. This is the highlights of the Namibian run chase. That Josh Davey with an absolute beauty cleaning up Zane Green for a duck, and then Craig Williams came in and immediately kicked into action. Sufyan Sharif was pumped down the ground. That was a top shot from Stephen Bard. Then that flick towards fine leg, always going down for 4. Josh Davey was then hammered for a beautiful 6, the shot of the day from Stephen Bard. This was a bit fortunate, under edge past the keeper, and Craig Williams through the offside, absolutely brilliant, loves to punch that ball through cover point. Bradley Wheel also, the field placing did not help him a lot, but those shots from Craig Williams, absolutely brilliant, through the offside, over the cover point area, and then that massive 6. Michael Leask around the wicket, bowling off spin, and Craig Williams said, "Thank you very much, I'm going to take you downtown." This was a fortunate outside edge, ran away for 4. And this ball was an absolute shocker. Ramped over the short third man. So they took full toll and quick hands through the ball all the way for 6 to the next oval. And this one, a bit of a fortunate top edge. Bradley Wheel then came on once again, and Craig Williams just kept pounding them on the offside. Mark Watt bowled really well here for the Scotsman. Good wicket taken there of Murray Erasmus. David Wiesa gone for a first ball duck. And then Stephen Bard eventually ran out of patience, caught at long off. But then Josh Davies served up a full toss that eased any pressure that was created. And that was the winning hit down the ground all the way for 6.
Brilliant stuff coming in from the Namibians. The way they have chased this match was absolutely fantastic to watch, and eventually winning it comfortably by 5 wickets.
This is of course the match summary. Then Scotland were put into bat by Namibia, got 137 for 8 in their allotted 20 overs. Richard Barrington with a very fine hand, 61 of 46. Craig Wallace 23. Henry Muncie was looking good until he got cleaned up by J.J. Smith, 17 of 18. Ruben Trumpelman was very, very good. Tall left arm seamer, 2 for 23. David Wiesa as well, 2 for 38. Jan Freiling, left hand seamer, all-rounder, 2 for 24. And in reply, they got the chase done in just under 18 overs. Craig Williams, the standout batter, 50 of 37. Stephen Bard, the opener, played well as well. And J.J. Smith with 20 not out of 17, and also had a wicket to his name, so definitely a shoe-in for the Man of the Match award. Mark Watt, the left arm orthodox bowler, the pick for the Scotsman, 2 for 11 on the day, as Namibia clinching an easy victory by 5 wickets. And of course, the action is not over in the Dafa News Summer T20 Bash. Tomorrow, there's a Super Sunday. You have the mini-series best of 3 to be decided between the home team UAE taking on Ireland in the morning at 9 a.m. local time, followed up by the Blue Eagles of Namibia taking on Cricket PNG, Papua New Guinea at 1 p.m. live from the ICC Academy ground at Dubai. So that's it for today. Do join us tomorrow. Thank you and good afternoon.